players here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Jeremy Campbell.
Good evening, and it is Wednesday, which means it is time for the NFL Roundtable Talks. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm going to go around the horn and introduce everybody. We got Will Vogel of WVOGS 18. We got Ralph Williams of RW Media. We got Estrella de Thrilla of Nothing But the Smoke. We got Skull Mike of Skull Nation here. Patriots Media, Jordan Davison, and back by popular demand, and it's been a long time coming, it's Detroit Tom.
Yo.
Yeah, he just snuck in there. I didn't even notice he was in there.
Yeah,
I'm at the bottom.
That being
Well. Look who's in the chat.
Davonte Adams said he's locked in with the Raiders unless he can reunite with Aaron Rodgers. What do you think
I
about
heard
that?
that was false too.
I'm not surprised because Davonte Adams had success with Aaron Rodgers, so why not go with a familiar quarterback? But also the Raiders need to cut ties with some guys because their money situation isn't that good. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets call, because yes, I know they have Garrett Wilson, but maybe someone to help Garrett Wilson get less pressure off Garrett Wilson. So I wouldn't be surprised if he by trade deadline or early season we see Davonte get traded for a few picks to the Jets.
Right, Ralph?
Well, if Robert Saleh kind of want to save his job this year and help out Aaron Rodgers, I think that would be a great trade. And if I'm the Jets, I'd be on that phone in a minute because, that would be an excellent addition to help him out this year because the Jets need to do something this year. I think Saleh's going to be fired because, they really haven't done very much. And I know they banked all their cards on Aaron Rodgers, and we'll see what happens with him this year.
Well, B, before you say it was false, I got this from Peter Schrager's article after Good Morning Football this morning. So, Peter Schrager don't usually put out clickbait. But, B, what do you think about it if it does happen?
What if he goes to the Jets to play with Aaron? Good luck. I think Aaron Rodgers is at a point in his career where he's washed. I just think so. He's too busy doing all kinds of other stuff. If you're not paying attention to football, if you're not focused on football, you ain't focused. So I don't see the Jets doing well next year. I mean, this coming up season anyway. I just think Aaron Rodgers is on a whole different planet. I mean that seriously.
Yeah, no, it's true.
I mean, I've been watching these video clips of Davonte Adams after he got his ass handed to him, talking about I need to get the hell out of here before I get killed, so if he wants to go to the Jets and be, on a subpar team and just, go to there to die and retire, then so be it. It's either going to be with the Raiders or it's going to be with the Jets. So as long as it's not in our division, I'm happy.
Jordan?
Aaron Rodgers, they need to save him box. That's what they need to sign.
Who? David
You can't hear me?
You broke up there.
Yeah. I said that's who the Jets need to sign is David Bakhtiari. So
Well, Hole with the Mandingo party here. I hit the jackpot.
Oh God, dang it, Orlando.
Rumor connected Brandon Ayuk to Raiders and Davonte Adams to 49ers.
I don't see that. I don't see that happening.
I'm not even listening to John.
I don't even listen.
We've
to
been
that
going at it for
source.
the last half hour about Kirby not being one of the best safeties in the top 10.
Same stats
But
as Kyle Hamilton, who was considered top 4. But
Yep.
what do you think about it, Dom?
Well, two things. Actually, maybe more than two at this point. One, Davonte Adams' contract is pretty nasty, is it not?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not by like, Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson type numbers because he signed it a few years ago. But I mean, I don't see that happening. Also, there's absolutely no way he's going to Frisco. Frisco's trying to get rid of or not take on huge wide receiver contracts. Why would they get rid of Ayuk and then just take an older guy that's
Right.
making damn near much?
And like John Lynch said this morning, because Brandon Ayuk was only a $14.5 million dead cap hit. Debt 14.5 cap hit. Why would they want to take on a guy who's 28.5 million this year and 45.6 next year?
Ayuk, and I'd forgot about this. He thinks he can pull the same stuff that Debo pulled, like demand a trade and get a huge deal. Frisco's not making that mistake twice in a row with overpaying wide receivers.
What they're talking about doing is clearing cap around him and re-signing him in the offseason during the re-signing period.
Yeah, but didn't they already missed the franchise tag deadline though, didn't they?
No.
He's on his 5th-year option.
Oh, okay.
He's under contract this year. He doesn't have a choice. But anyways, the other one, and I'm going to start with Dom this time. The Texans are the first team to fully report rookies and vets to training camp. Did you know the vets are optional the week the rookies get there? They don't have to show up, but they can if they want to. The entire team showed. The only people that are not there are people that are on the PUP list or already on the injured reserve. What do you think about it, Dom?
I think that the Texans are fired up to get as early of a start as they can to go win that crappy division.
Amen. All right, Jordan. I think Jordan froze.
Yep.
Now he's moving.
I'm in training camp. Nothing big. Oh, you can.
All right. Yeah, you're like really breaking up bad, Jordan. All right, Skull Mike, what do you think about it?
I mean, I've touched base on this the last couple of weeks. Just because I do live in Houston, this team is fired up. I mean, they've got everybody healthy. Everybody's coming in. Tank Dell is recovered from his broken leg. They want to get as much chemistry with this receiver core. With Danielle Hunter. With the defense. Everything that they got going on, and D'Amico Ryans has got these guys pumped up and believing, that they're going to win and they're going to go to the Super Bowl. And, the hype around this town right now is just unbelievable about the Texans. So I say, yeah, I mean, they're going to be the real deal. Yeah. The AFC South is a shitty division, but I see them going deep into the playoffs and potentially even going to the Super Bowl, coming out of the AFC. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with. As long as Stephon Diggs isn't toxic in that locker room, I think they're going to mesh well.
All right, B.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Hey.
DeMarco Ryans, he is a Dan Campbell of the AFC to me.
Yeah.
He has that team ready to play. They're going to have that team ready to play without. It doesn't make a difference if they have Stephon Diggs. I think he can take care of him. I just think Houston. Yeah, Houston's one of those teams. It's kind of like Detroit. We really don't care. I mean, we talk a lot of stuff. We don't really care if we actually win the division. we know we're going to be chomping up butt all through the NFC. I think that's the same thing Houston has right now. I think Houston, it doesn't make a difference about their division, fuck their division, but they're going to be outside their division kicking people's butts anyway. So that's why that's going to be one of my favorite games to see this season in Houston and Detroit. That's going to be awesome game to me.
Ooh, we play them.
Oh, we got somebody.
Well, I agree. I agree with everyone here pretty much on the panel. But let's take a look at the remark Orlando made. It could be a sophomore jinx. I mean, D'Amico Ryan's going into a second year as head coach. And I'm not saying he's a bad coach, and I'm not saying that, it could not happen. There could be the sophomore jinx there. He could get a bunch of injuries, and the team might, you know what I mean, slide. So we'll see what happens. But I agree with the rest of the panel. D'Amico Ryan's has this team ready to go for this year.
What if it's a sophomore slump for Indy too? Because remember, this is Nick Sirianni's second year.
This is second year, yeah.
And
not
Richardson.
Sirianni. That's Shane Steichen is in Indy.
Shane Steichen, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
it's Richardson's second year too, and it's
right.
Hopefully be his full season year.
If Richardson can stay healthy, that's the thing.
Yeah, we don't know.
Well, they got Joe. They got Broadway Joe Flacco.
That's the backup now. Is they got Joe Flacid sitting on the couch with his cup of Viagra ready to take. Got to hit the field.
Wow, you put some respect on that man's name.
I did.
He gave him a trademark Viagra.
Yeah. I'm going to address a few chats before I get to you, Will, real quick. Jane Burgess said it. Bakhtiari is done, I think. Orlando says Ayuk the Raiders, Adams the Jets, San Francisco gets picks from both in cap space to sign. It won't be enough cap space to sign Purdy. They are $38.9 million over the cap next season. So in other words, they have to make $90 million to afford Purdy next year. And that doesn't include draft picks. If you look at the current QB market, Lynch wants to see how much Purdy holds him hostage for before grabbing a $30 million wide receiver. Now, that I agree with. Keegan says whoever on the chopping block will be flipped for Ayuk. And Jane Burris says, I think Houston will be good, but I seriously doubt Super Bowl good. They could be. The potential is there. Well,
so you want to know what I honestly think is going to happen, and this is just kind of thinking outside the box. The Minnesota Vikings are disgusted with Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison is from the California, San Francisco Bay Area. He went to USC. I think they're going to swing a deal for Addison, for Ayuk, a couple draft picks, and I think he's going to end up coming to the NFC. That's my suggestion.
Keep praying. That's all I got to say.
Well, I mean, I can shit in one hand, wish in the other. So I mean,
right.
But that's going to kill Minnesota's salary cap.
So you want
have they paid Justin Jefferson yet?
Jefferson.
Jefferson signed.
Jefferson signed. He signed.
So
with
now
a
you're
no trade.
Now you're going to sign another multi-million-dollar receiver too. That's ridiculous. That's dumb.
The other thing.
That's dumb. That's like the Lions doing that. That's just dumb. You got one good receiver. You got Osborne's not a bad receiver either.
KJ Osborne left.
He left last.
He left. Well, that's right.
So we got Jordan Addison, and we got Justin Jefferson, and then T.J. Hawkinson ain't coming back until week 4. So we need another receiver.
Well, what I'm saying is Ayuk says he wants to go, and Lynch says I don't want to let him go, and I kind of trust a GM that's already proven when he says he doesn't want to let someone go, he doesn't. Well, so I want to get back on track with where we are at. It's Will's turn to talk about the Texans subject.
I got to see this team play in person, right up close in person, and they are a team that is young and hungry and want to get better and better each year. And D'Amico Ryans is a great coach. And I really think this team is promising. Of course, you have C.J. Stroud, you have Tank Dell, you have Nico Collins, you have Stephon Diggs. If you can control him, and you got a really solid defense. So I think this team is going to be a fun team for years to watch. And, You know what? To have the team chemistry where it's at, where everyone's reporting all at once, except for the injured guys and the pup guys, that shows the selfishness of that team.
There you go. All right. And I agree.
Sorry, it's hard
I
to
think
say.
it's great for a young team because I think they're the fourth or fifth youngest team in the NFL right
I
now.
believe so.
Because number one, no, it's the Texans is number one. We're number two. It's
Yep.
Green Bay that's fourth. That's what it was. So that being said, that shows a lot of character for a lot of young guys. Because if they have enough young guys, they're the youngest team in the NFL. That's a lot of character and determination showed by a team, in my opinion. I think it's great.
Unselfish.
Yeah,
Very unselfish.
you already said that. I was giving my take. Thank you.
Until Stephon Diggs doesn't get the
Well,
ball.
damn.
Well, that's
So-
why I said earlier, as long as he doesn't, become toxic in the locker room and start throwing sideline fits, they're going to be in good shape. But as soon as that starts happening, I know that him and D'Amico Ryans are going to butt heads, because if you remember D'Amico Ryans, character when he did play for the Texans, he was probably one of the most humble people that you ever met, and wasn't arrogant, wasn't cocky, just went out and played the game like it should have been. And he will not stand for that, because if you remember, what was the running back that the Texans had last year that threw a sideline fit and D'Amico Ryans benched him?
Devin
So
Singletary.
what's
That's
that?
why he's not on the team. Devin Singletary.
Yep, that's it. Yep,
That's why he's now what, a Giant?
I think
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yes.
he's not going to put up with that shit. I mean, he runs a tight ship just like he should, and that's why the whole personality of the Texans has changed. And
Orlando.
the people of Houston are seeing that.
All right, Orlando. You say that's easy to do with the bag they got for Watson. They still have 4 picks they haven't used yet from that trade. That's how big that trade was for Cleveland. That's why Cleveland, even though they've got a good team, they can't keep it progressing, getting younger right now. Papa Smoke, hope your birthday was a memorable celebration. He is addressing Smoking Dad, who says, long time no see, Dom.
What up, Rumble?
Smoking
Good to see
dad.
Rumble in the chat. He says, what up, though, to everybody. But
What up, dude?
Caleb and Rome signed yesterday. We all knew over a week ago that Rome planned on signing for the next, at the beginning of training camp when they reported for the rookies. What we didn't know was Caleb, because last week he got stupid and talked to Mike Florio saying, I know my worth. But they milked every penny out of that number 1 pick salary cap room they could give to give Caleb Williams his 4-year, $39.49 million rookie with a $25.5 million signing bonus for this year. What do you think about it, Will?
I think they paid him. I don't think they should have gone down to the last penny. I really don't. I think you should have done quite a bit less, because I think that Caleb Williams, yes, he's a pretty good quarterback, but you know what? What if this guy doesn't turn out to be what you think he is, Chicago? You think he's the next coming of something special, the next great Bears quarterback that's going to eclipse 4,000 yards to throw for X amount of touchdowns. What if you're in the risk of overpaying this dude and having it come back and bite you? So I think yes, he was the number 1 pick. I think they paid him way too much and gave him too much leverage with that money.
Ralph?
I agree with Will, and I had Harry the Greek on my show yesterday. He talked Chicago Bears, and he said the same thing. He said Caleb Williams is overpaid. They should have. The Bears are a dysfunctional organization right now. They have a coach who's I think, walking on eggshells. At least he should be. Okay, because based on what's going on, their GM should be walking on eggshells as well, because some of the decisions that they've made, and they always have the first pick in the draft. and can't make any hay out of it. So, it's really sad because this is an organization that's a top-notch, classy organization. At least they were, and now they're down in the doldrums right now. And I don't think Caleb Williams can save the day. They need a
No.
lot more than that.
Orlando, I'm going to address that one right now before I go to B. Best situation any number one pick has walked into since Eli and Rivers. You know what the difference is? Eli and Rivers walked into a place where they had established running backs that were considered top 10 running backs in the league, established O-lines that was in the upper half of the league, on top of the defense and the weapon. You cannot say that he's walking into the best situation ever because he's not. That's a questionable O-line. You got one running back who averages 4 yards a carry, another one that averages 8 games a year he might miss if he gets over 20 carries. I don't see where it's the best situation any number one pick has except at the wide receiver position. That's it. All right, B, go ahead.
Well, yeah, a lot of that speculatory media stuff too. Media will blow anything up, and I think Caleb, we joked about him saying that I know my worth, but he already knows the Bears were backed in the corner anyway. The Bears ain't got no choice but to pay him because that's the only thing they got. They can't go nowhere else now. They done screwed themselves. So yeah, they overpaid for him, but that was you can chalk that up for a win for Caleb. So Caleb can go out there and suck all next year, the year after that, and still get paid.
Oh,
And that's Chicago for you, though. Chicago doing Chicago things.
And guess what? In the years when Rivers and Eli went there, those were top 5 Ds too. So don't say that they didn't walk into a better situation because they had better tight ends and better running backs and better O-line. Those were better situations than Caleb's walking into. I don't understand why everybody thinks, oh, he's going to be great when you don't know what that interior O-line is going to be like. They got a brand new OC in Shane Waldron, who was the OC for the Seahawks. And if you look, he regressed greatly once his quarterback coach became the offensive coordinator at Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Dave Canales. Dave Canales is a bigger reason why Geno looked good than Shane Waldron. So you're bringing Shane Waldron, who is not a quarterback developer, to develop a rookie quarterback. Oh, that sounds fantastic.
The same thing they did with Justin Fields, though.
Right.
They're trying to flip flop the situation where they didn't give Justin Fields anything, and they still didn't have anybody to teach him how to be quarterback in the NFL level. And then at the same time, so they get rid of him and they flip it over and put all these weapons out here for another quarterback that they're not gonna address because
my point.
They don't got nobody there. It's the same thing. Chicago is just running into their own wall. That's all they're doing. They keep doing stupid stuff to revamp what they thought they were doing bad the last time. You're just doing the same bad thing, just in an opposite way. I don't understand that whole situation. That's just dumb.
Orlando, I'm saying Caleb's not walking into the same situation that Eli and Rivers walked into.
Well, Eli and Rivers were better quarterbacks at the college level than he was.
Amen.
That's the other point.
Yeah.
And he's not even a proven NFL player yet. And I would never give him no damn contract like that. But they didn't have anything else to fall on. So that's what they had to do. They had to eat their own fucking shorts. So that's I'm going to tell you something. As frustrating as I try to make it, I don't care to the Bears. They're in my division. Fuck them.
I second that.
But at the same time, I forgot to mention one thing about Caleb's contract. It's 100% fully guaranteed.
And that's what I was going to touch on.
If he gets hurt, they are ultra screwed. But anyway, Skull, Mike, go ahead.
So I agree with what Orlando texted. Caleb Williams straight up finessed the Chicago Bears. I'm gonna agree with everybody else. He's gonna go out. This dude is gonna be running for his life. That interior line on the offense is not gonna protect him. He's gonna have 1.5 seconds of drop back time to make a decision. If you look at what he did in USC, he's not gonna be able to do that. He is gonna get his ass handed to him, and I promise you that he will be hurt by week 3, if not sooner. and he's going to sit out, and he's going to collect a big old fat check, and they ain't going to have shit, and they're not going to be what anything else, what all these Bears fans are thinking. It's no different. It's no different than Center Point Energy, where I'm at. They got finessed by hiring, the old CEO of PPE Energy out of California. He's doing the exact same shit here, and that's why we didn't have power for almost 2 weeks after a Category 1 hurricane, as he did in California. They got finessed, and now they're fucked, and they're stuck with it, and it's the same thing over there.
And you know what else? Don't forget about their backup, Secret Bayesian man.
Hey, it couldn't happen to a better team. Fuck them, just like he said. It is what it is.
Detroit Dom, what do you think about the whole Caleb situation?
Okay, well, first of all, I have to address something that Will said about Caleb Williams being the next great quarterback. Well,
I never said he was.
You did.
No,
or that he could be. Well, here's the thing. In order to be next, there has to be one before that, and there's never been one. So he can't be the next great Bears
No,
quarterback.
I said what Bears fans believe. I never said he was going to be.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. The other thing is, he couldn't possibly be walking into the best situation for a rookie quarterback because he got drafted by the Bears.
Amen. But at the same time, I got one for you, Dom. Who's the best quarterback for passing yardage and touchdowns in a season in Bears history? Eric frickin' Kramer. Eric Kramer beat out Gabe Butler by 40 yards and 3 touchdowns.
A lion.
Enjoy
a lion.
A developed Lion quarterback is their best quarterback in franchise history.
I love it.
They've got a pretty easy first 7-8 games.
Yeah,
but the last 9 or 10 are brutal.
Right, they don't.
Well, they still ain't gonna do shit.
They'll probably win 7 games.
I got them winning 7 to 9. I've said that the whole time. All right, Jordan, let it rip.
They got to play Houston week 2. They're going to be screwed in that game.
Oh yeah.
Then they got to play Los Angeles. They're going to be screwed in that game.
It's going to be 70-0 at halftime.
Jordan,
I was gonna say 56, but I'll take the 70. That sounds even better.
I need to hear what Jordan has to say, guys.
Sorry.
This is usually the fuck the Packers show. Now it turned into fuck the Bears.
It'll be fuck the Packers at the end of the show, but anyway.
But yeah, this is what happens when you're the number 1 pick and you get a lot of hype. Look up Bronny James. Everything that man does, they're going to be following him just because it's bad. Just because you're the number 1 pick, you can demand what you want.
Bronny James has scored 14 points in 5 games, bro. Come on.
Hey,
but I'm saying it's the hype.
He did better every game than a guy who stunk up the summer G League more than any player in NBA history. 0 for 15, 0 for 2 from the charity stripe. Second pick overall is looking worse than Bronny James right now.
Yeah, he went 0 for 7 from threes too.
Yeah, I don't understand why anybody thinks that's surprising. He was crap in college. On a messed up USC team on top of that.
I'm not talking about Bronny. I'm talking about the second pick overall in the draft.
Alex Sarr from Europe.
Yeah, the guy.
That's what I'm saying. That it doesn't make a difference. He's not. Bronny's not the guy. I don't want to put him down because he's a kid. You know what I'm saying? It's not it's not his fault he's crummy. He can't be like his dad. So he's just he's not a good player.
Yeah.
Well, did you guys see the post yesterday?
What's that?
He won a Call of Duty tournament or some shit.
Who, Bronny?
Maybe he found his calling and he could be sitting there
with Tyler Murray.
He won $10,000 from a Call of Duty tournament. Everybody's like, well, maybe that's why he sucks at basketball because he's a gamer.
Maybe maybe him and my guy from Cardinals can get together.
Kyler Murray.
Who'd he beat? Tyler Murray?
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
He said who'd he beat? Kyler Murray.
Yeah. Wasn't
Hey, but
hard.
if you
Hey,
look,
always a non-aware type of guy.
Did you hear me?
but if you look at it, Bronny and NBA 2K25 is got 99% rating. So he's going to be good.
No, he's going to be the lowest overall. I hope.
Oh, that hurt. Okay, James Rodgers says, Caleb, I have not seen anything yet. I was trying to read it and it came up. Caleb, I have not seen anything yet that tells me he has NFL read react speed. Until that, the jury is out. And Dad says, you don't think defenses aren't going to be a little bit more psyched playing the Bears? And Orlando goes, I can't believe I'm defending the Bears. I said, I can't believe you are either. Are you even a Lions fan anymore, Orlando? What the
Kick
hell?
his fandom away.
Caleb better be running because Hutch, Aleem, and Reeder are coming after him. And Betts and Davenport and Houston and Comiskey, Pascal. The guy I'm leaving out is I'm Wuzariki because I don't think he makes it. But anyways, y'all are funny. This draft class isn't that great, and some of them expecting a lot of things. Doesn't matter. When the number 2 pick overall can't hit the broadside of a barn with using a microscope for aiming for
I
him.
mean, what draft is actually that good? I mean, nobody remembers the drafts. The past 5 or 6 drafts haven't been the greatest in the NBA. It's not like
if you don't have a top, if you don't
90s
have
or
a
the
top 2 or 3
80s where
pick,
they had like
you
Michael
might as well
Jordan,
not have a
Isaiah,
pick.
people coming out at the same time.
Yeah, you got the guy for San Antonio that's pretty good that got drafted number 1 last year, Wimbill or whatever.
Wemby.
Yeah.
Won't be, yeah.
But
he finally looked like he's a European player living up to the hype.
Yeah, but the one this year, I don't think. I mean, the first American player that went this year was Reed Shepard, and he's looked pretty good in the summer league. But I don't know about the number 1 pick, how he's looked, because he's
This
also
was
a
the worst
German.
draft in like 10 years.
Yeah, they said there was no clear cut.
Yeah, I went there.
Oh my god! Whoever just made that comment about Corum, boot him.
No, I'm not booting him. If I have to boot a Wolverine fan, then I got to boot a Spartan fan. I only know one on the panel. Sorry, Dom.
Wish you all the best, Blake Corum. You and your 3.0 yards per carry.
That being said, it is trivia time. My first question is:
Hey, hold on. I think there's one topic we need to talk about that was not mentioned yet.
What topic is that?
Yeah, no one cares about the Patriots, homie.
No, it wasn't the Patriots related. It happened, I think, Friday of last week, that Jacoby Jones' death.
Yeah.
I covered that over the weekend. But yeah, rest in peace.
We talked about that Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah,
and they still, the Houston coroner's office, the medical examiner, still hasn't released the cause of death.
It's not suicide. That's a rumor.
The story, if you die in your sleep, I think somebody poisoned them. That's just what I think, but who knows?
They're investigating it as a murder.
I mean, what was he?
Yeah,
40?
I think somebody
40
years old.
He just turned 40.
Yeah, I think somebody poisoned him.
Keegan asked Dom, "How is MSU?"
It was a woman
this past year. They're happy Jim Harbaugh's gone.
The same thing we've been doing since Kenneth Walker entered the NFL draft. Nothing.
Speaking of Jets, when you guys were on the Jets topic earlier on Aaron Rodgers, did you guys see what Mike frickin' Greenberg did on ESPN?
No.
He said Aaron Rodgers is going to be the best quarterback in football this year.
That dude's been eating peyote with him in foreign countries. That's the only reason.
Greenberg
he's a
says
Jets
a lot of
fan
dumbass
anyway.
shit.
That's kind of like what's his face for the Chicago Bears talking about they were going to go. They were going to be a Super Bowl team this year.
Oh,
right.
Nick Wright.
Adam Rank even said it. That's the crazy thing. Nick Wright and Adam Rank both said Chicago's a 12 or 13 win team this year.
The only thing Nick Wright's right about is the Chiefs. That's it. Other than that, he's wrong about everything else.
All right. So this first question, Will's exempt because he knows the answer. In 1922, the NFL was formed. How many teams were in the original league? Do you know, Ralph?
I'd say probably 10.
No, that's
No.
incorrect. Detroit
No.
Dom.
8.
Nope.
Way higher. You're out. Skull.
14.
Wrong. Bistrilla.
Ah,
What was the question again?
In 1922, NFL started with how many teams?
It started with how many teams?
Yeah, how many teams started in their inaugural season in 1922?
wasn't it?
22.
Less, but better. Patriots media.
I want to say 18.
18 is the right answer. There was 18
Ah,
in the inaugural season in 1922. One of them being the Arizona Cardinals that actually formed, or the Chicago Cardinals that formed in 1896.
Oh
Damn.
wow! So that franchise has been in 3 cities and still ain't shit.
I wonder,
Right.
hey, you know how many of those 18 teams are still around?
None, I don't think, unless yeah,
Well,
because
the Cardinals.
Technically, the Cardinals, yeah.
technically the Cardinals. That's it.
Okay,
I mean,
but they
go by
weren't Arizona though, right?
no, they were
No,
Well, the
Chicago.
Cardinals moved from all kinds of places.
And
They
they
were
weren't
Yeah.
St. Louis,
Chicago.
Arizona, Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the next question. I'm going to start with you, Jordan. And well, you can't know it. You can't answer this one too because we were talking backstage and you guessed it. It's an old stadium, but it has the lowest attendance capacity of any stadium in the NFL. And it's
So like,
amazing their capacity
so,
is this low when they added 20,000 seats sometime in this millennium.
so you're saying that it's an older stadium and there's not many fans that go there, or the stadium's just not that big.
Stadium's not as big as it looks. Let's put it that way.
I know
And
this
it's
Wait,
one.
what's the
so it
actual
has to,
question?
so it has to be it's had to be around for a while.
Which stadium in the
Uh,
NFL has the lowest seating capacity?
which has the lowest in the NFL?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
I know
Oh, okay,
this.
okay. Okay, I'm gonna say the Tennessee Titans.
Incorrect. Dom?
Mm. Oh, I mean, I want to say for actual seats that aren't tarped off, it's like Jacksonville.
No, that's incorrect as well. Skull?
Washington.
No. Bistrilla?
Lambeau.
No. They have
Damn.
78,000. Ralph, do you know?
yeah, Acrisure Stadium.
Nope, that is wrong too. Well, go ahead and give him the answer because you know it.
Well, go ahead and throw your own stadium under the
Soldier
bus here.
Field.
James Burgess got it right.
Really?
61,500 seat capacity. That's it.
That's the lowest?
That's why they
I
suck.
I thought
No
Titans was only
way.
50.
Keyword was stadium.
I've been to
Keyword
Cincinnati
was
Stadium. No
stadium.
way it holds that many.
They added 20,000 seats, remember, right after 2000 when they put the UFO on top of there. That's how they got the 61,500 seats.
They're supposed to be moving out of that stadium too. They're supposed to get another stadium built.
The Hallis owners
Nobody wants to pay for that shit.
actually bought
Land.
Arlington Heights, land in Arlington Heights, a former raceway, I think it was.
Yeah.
The Bears are moving to Sacramento. They're
Something's
going
up
to
with
share the
us.
stadium with the A's.
T-Bone.
The A's aren't even going to be in
Sacramento
Sacramento.
Bears. That might work.
The A's are going to be in Vegas.
Yeah, in 3 years.
Well, it's 4 years, I think. They got a 4-year contract in Sacramento.
So that was the trivia question tonight. I think I did good on pulling up some obscure ones.
That's pretty good.
So
So
what do you got for us? Does anybody got a parting shot they want to talk about? If James Burgess, I liked it better before the spaceship landed on it. It was actually cool, and you could see the lake from the good side of the field. That's cool. There's a museum all around the ground floor. Something's up with Hutch. I'm trying to look it up to see what's going on.
Does anybody want to talk about the national anthem with the home run derby?
Oh my God! Did you hear what's going on with that young lady? She is
Well, she
a
said
Yeah,
she said she's
rehab.
checking herself into rehab. But Christ, I'd have said the same thing if I would have murdered, the national anthem like that. I'd have blamed it on something. But it makes me really wonder. She's a 4-time Grammy award-winning, artist. How much of that, of her songs was, chopped and remixed and done in the studio, to be like
She's
that?
got 4
Because
Grammys.
so
yeah,
yeah.
They give
She had
Grammys
4
to
Grammys.
anyone.
She was a country artist that won 4 Grammys as new artist back in 2019.
I mean,
She was born in Southfield.
yeah, I mean, for Christ's sake, Fergie did the worst rendition of the anthem I've ever heard in my life, and this lady,
Hang on,
took the cake.
Roseanne.
Roseanne Barr.
With
Wait,
the
Ah,
who?
crotch grab.
Wait, who was it that did this? I didn't catch it. I don't watch baseball, so I couldn't. Who
Ingrid,
was it?
right? Is that her name? Ingrid Anderson, I think it was.
Yeah.
Ingrid Autumn,
Andrews,
And,
Andress.
yeah,
and
Andress,
Yeah,
yeah,
Ingrid Andress. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
well, if you
That
actually listen to it, you can hear her slurring her words while she's singing, and she's out of pitch, and she's actually a really good singer. So I can believe she was that. Anyone hear of a recent Hutch injury? No, I have not. I just looked everywhere. I see nothing about Hutch being injured. When somebody asked about Hutch, I went Aiden Hutchinson news, and there's nothing out there. But 4 days ago, CBS said there's some big hype coming in for Aiden Hutchinson this year.
I did.
Wow,
I did hear Jeremy. I just got word that he slipped on a banana peel.
Oh, is that what?
Yeah, I'm reading the same thing.
Ralph got jokes.
He pulled his vagina, and he's going to be out 6 weeks.
hey, they will. Hey, they will let us. They will let.
Wait, his name's not TJ Hawkinson. Don't put that.
You're just mad. You're just mad because you gave up the best tight end in the league for pennies on a dollar.
No, because we got the best tight end in
we
the league.
have the best
Trading
tight
his
end in
ass.
the
That's
league.
what
He's
happened.
on a rookie contract.
Don't get it twisted.
There is no news on a Hutch injury, guys. So rest easy. It's clickbait sports somewhere reporting that stuff.
Actually, you're right. TJ Hawkinson is the best tight end in the league. Tight end in the league. Just ask him.
I mean, self preservation is going to be good. Hey, Thrilla, we'll circle back to this. Remember this conversation about week 14. Let's see where we're sitting at.
Well, Hawkinson's got to actually play.
He's
So,
going to be
He's good.
He ain't
We
going
just
to be
didn't
back
want to
until
pay
week
him what
14.
he's really good. We just weren't going to pay him what he thought he was worth.
the
Well,
worst
I
of
mean,
all injuries was
the NFL is used to now paying worthless players more than what they're worth. Just ask any
Oh,
Bears fan.
Just
absolutely.
ask Dak Prescott.
Tight end's going to be that. Tight end's going to be like the running back one day. Unless you're a top elite guy, you're not going to get paid.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to be.
Where are
They're going to
you
be like
seeing
the
that guy?
receivers.
Because I've checked the Lions site. I checked Pride of Detroit. I checked.
You got JB all nervous over there.
There's been nothing about an injury with Hutch since last year in August.
That would have been if Hutchinson got injured in training camp, man.
It would be everywhere.
It'd be
It'd
all
be
over the
everywhere.
place.
I just looked on Bleacher Report. There's nothing on there either. So that's bullshit news.
It's a Bears fan.
No shit. And he's probably being funny.
97 with heart emojis. That just means I love him. I mean, he just got engaged, if I remember right, over the weekend. That might be what this is about. Him and Mia and his mom and his dad went on a vacation. Something on main events page.
Well, they're lying too.
That's really Caleb Williams that's commenting. He just don't want to see it.
If you got to understand it. If a mainstream player and somebody of Hutchinson's caliber was hurt, that would be all over everything. So
Yeah, it'd be like Justin Jefferson. It'd be like in Jordan Love. Anybody in the NFC North with that caliber of stuff around him, you would know that immediately.
Yeah.
Joe
Well,
Blow, that's continuing to make the team, you won't probably hear about, but those
Get
players
it
you
right.
will.
It's Bobby Blow.
that would be on local news in your area because he's a Michigan guy too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeremy, I have to go here.
Yep.
So,
Go ahead and
Hey,
plug your show there,
have a
Ralph.
good night.
all
All right,
right,
Ralph.
all right, guys, thank you, and you can reach me on YouTube. I have my own channel. It's Ralph Williams RW Media. We're going on TV in the Pittsburgh area starting August 1st, and then also we're going on FM 105 radio on the internet. Possibly, I'm looking into that. Roku and Spotify as well, and we're also on. You can catch me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter X platforms also. And all my shows are also on those platforms as well. Don't forget to subscribe and tune in. All right, Jeremy, I'll talk with you on Saturday, 9 a.m. Jeremy's now on the External Bum Show with myself, Scott Morganroth, and Leo Haggerty. All right, have a great one, guys.
Have a good
Thank you.
night, sir.
All right.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yep. Have a good night, sir. There we go. Same here. Got to hit the books. Good to see you. Good luck on that exam there, James. I hope you get
Yes,
it.
sir.
Anybody that's trying to better their career. Okay, let's see. So far, there's nothing on his Instagram about an injury or anything. Now I'm looking at.
It's that would be all over ESPN.
Yeah,
It'd be all over every NFL network. If Hutchinson was hurt, I mean, we would all know it already. You know,
Unless he
it's
gets-
just like, I mean, for Christ's sake, you know, I mean, it was 15 minutes after Jordan Addison got arrested on suspicion of DUI. It was over every single major platform, you know, that the dude got arrested. So, and it's not even injury related. So, all
can't remember
that's
I
that's
can't remember the
bullshit.
first news media outlet that I think it was Bleacher Reporter's score that came popping up on my screen first about it. I think it was Bleacher Report.
Anyways,
No, I think it was TMZ.
I was
That
going to
first-
say
I don't have
TMZ Sports.
TMZ. I'm talking about
Yeah.
an actual sports media outlet.
Yeah.
believe it or
Yeah,
not,
I think-
TMZ breaks more accurate stuff than almost all of the clickbait sports media out there.
Yeah.
So if they break something, I usually follow it, but TMZ doesn't even have anything about Aiden Hutchinson other than last year right now.
TMZ wouldn't do nothing about injuries unless it was a gruesome one.
Right.
They do things that are like outside of the stadium.
Talked about it.
That's
Anybody
funny.
that gets a race on the outside of the stadium, like Jordan Addison, that would be on the front page. TMZ would have that immediately.
Or like when Cam Newton got in a car wreck, they did that, but they only do like stuff like that.
Right. They did the Henry Ruggs thing. They did Joshua Addison doing 100 and whatever in a 55. They did Joshua Addison got picked up for a DUI, but they were slightly mistaken. It's under suspicion of DUI because he refused to give any type of blood work or breathalyzer or sobriety test.
I mean,
But at the
for
same
Christ's
time,
sake, Henry Ruggs' car was still smoking when TMZ reported it.
Right. But at the same time, in the initial police report, they said they smelled alcohol as well with Joshua Addison while he was sleeping on the side of the road near LAX.
Jordan?
Jordan.
Jordan Addison, Joshua Addison, whatever. Oh yeah, Joshua Addison's a singer. Jordan Addison's the wide receiver. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well,
Kenny
I mean,
Pickett's dad.
for what they're saying, from what I've heard through WCCO Minnesota, is that if the Vikings take the chance in keeping him, he is facing a team suspension of a minimum of 3 games.
Right. And if you listen to what the NFL said, now that they don't test for marijuana, as long as you don't get in trouble for it, they've got no issue with it. But if you get into legal trouble with marijuana, they are going to throw the book of you.
Yeah.
What's did he get caught in Minnesota? Did he get caught in Minnesota?
No,
he
in
It was
California.
in L.A. He was right outside LAX in his Rolls Royce.
Well, California doesn't have any
passed
marijuana laws, do they? They don't have
No.
marijuana laws.
Still can't
No,
drive
it's
under
fully
the
legal.
That's
You can't-
fine.
You can't drive under the influence. That's illegal.
Well, I mean, are we smelling alcohol or are we smelling marijuana? I mean, there's two different things.
I understand, but they did blood work, so
Either way, you shouldn't be behind the wheel if they're
No.
smelling alcohol. And why the fuck are you driving around smoking weed?
Well, especially after his teammate just got killed in a drunk driving accident.
Why, as a professional athlete or celebrity, period, why are you ever even taking the chance to get a DUI? Pull out that black card and be like, Uber.
That's a question that'll never be solved, man, because I don't understand it either.
Bro,
So
I'm probably think they're bulletproof.
So I'm probably going to catch a lot of hate for this, but you can take the player out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the player.
I think 100%
that could be part of it.
So you got to look at his upbringing, who he is, what he does. I mean, I've been an advocate for this for a long, long time. You give a 23-year-old kid multi-millions of dollars, they don't know how to act.
They don't.
I mean, I'm 49 years old. You give me $30 million, I'm not going to know how to act. And I've been married for 25 years. I got 5 kids and a grandkid. You shove that much money in my bank account, I'm going to act stupid probably too for the first couple months,
Right.
Well, even at 30 years old, if I'd have got $1 million, I know one thing: I'd at least be getting myself $4,000 a month in interest income off of it, because I'd only invest a certain amount of money. For every
you know that now, but these young kids don't have a financial planner. I mean, they want to go buy $500,000 necklaces, and they want to go buy a $1.1 million Rolls Royce Phantom, and they're acting a fool. It's the same with Adrian Peterson. Look how much money this man made. He lives literally 7 miles up the road from me, and he is absolutely broke. And what did you do with all your money? You bought a $38 million house. Who needs a $38 million house with 14 bedrooms and 12 bathrooms? I mean, it's just foolish spending.
Funny that you say Rolls Royce, because I was about to say, even on a rookie contract, the first 2 things I'm buying are a Rolls Royce, and I'm hiring a chauffeur. And I'm not driving any goddamn where, ever again.
Nope.
No,
I mean, fuck. With that kind of money, you can get on a personal account with Uber.
Yeah.
Where you're a click away. I mean, we use Lyft at my work, to shuttle our guests back and forth from home and to the office. We literally spend $1,300 a month, and we use probably 15 to 20 Lyft rides a day. And they set up accounts, on that for, what they call their VIP customers. To me, that's money well spent. You need a ride, got to go to the grocery store, call a Lyft. You need to go to, the bank, call a Lyft. You don't even have to worry about it. Somebody's going to drive you wherever you want to go.
Are we all laughing at the same comment?
Only Philip
He ain't
Rivers
the only player.
bedroom mansion.
He ain't the only player.
Antonio
Haywood's another one that had a lot of kids.
I would say Tyreek Hill, but he don't take care of his kids.
Yeah, but guess what? There is another guy that needed that big pay raise this year when he switched teams, and that was Josh Jacobs, because he has 5 unwed kids on top of his wife and the one they got.
I did some research on that, and I don't think that's
if you can afford them,
true.
you can have them.
Hey, did you guys see, the picture of J.J. Watt that was released on X, looking like he was chiseled out of sandstone and said he's ready to come back and play?
Yeah, I'd take him. Right here on the line.
The only place he's going to go play is Houston. That's exactly the reason why Houston has success. He wants to go play with them immediately, because he didn't have no success really with Houston. No, you're not coming back, bro.
Man,
you had your chance.
Him and D'Amico Ryans are like best friends. I mean, they're like, step brothers. I really think D'Amico Ryans would take a chance on him, sign him to a minimum deal, because he's got enough money just to let him come back and show out. I mean, come on. Who wouldn't want to take that chance? It was up to
D'Amico Ryans to sign people, yeah. But he ain't the person that's putting the checks out there. That's the owner.
Next thing you know, Jadeveon Clowney's going to be like, where's mine?
Right. All these ex-Houston players are going to come out the woodwork.
Clowney will get his check from In-N-Out Burger every other Friday, so he'll be okay.
Okay, I
In
address
and
the
out
chat,
burger.
guys, for a second. Keegan says 14 bedroom must be how many baby mamas he has. Matt Henry says Sean Kemp needs 14 bedrooms also. And then Orlando said Johnny came from a rich family and was still a douche. Johnny had no work ethic whatsoever, wasted his talent. You know what Johnny
Mhm.
Manziel is? It's the epitome of a statement that we've made on this show. Hard work trumps talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Listen, lay off Johnny Manziel. You ever tried being a starting quarterback in Cleveland?
No, and I don't want to. I'll take the money, but
So
I'll fake an injury within a minute of getting on the field.
I mean,
so
if you
I actually
you can say that about
know
Detroit too. I mean,
I was going to say, Jeremy looks like he started in Cleveland a couple years.
So I actually know Johnny Manziel, and I know his whole family, and everything that's happened to Johnny Manziel was self-induced. It's his own
Amen.
goddamn fault.
mm-hmm.
He had everything at the palm of his hand. All he had to do was stay away from the bars and stay away from fast women, and he couldn't. And this reverts back to my last comment. You give these young kids all this money, and they don't know how to act.
Mm-hmm.
They should get a monthly allowance until after year 5. Yes, you got $40 million, but you're only getting XYZ amount until you mature enough to be able to handle this kind of money. I really think that the NFL, even the NBA, needs to implement this, because you let these kids run wild, they're just going to ruin themselves and ruin the possibility of being great.
A la John Morant.
Yep. But it was a BB gun. It's okay.
That's not an excuse for Johnny Manziel, though, because he grew up rich. I promise you, Texas A&M was giving him money. Like his rookie contract was not his first taste of big money.
Well, no, his grandparents and his parents own about
Oil.
7 different oil companies, here locally, right by where I live. They have multi-billions of dollars. Just the land that they own that's got pumping rigs on it produces over $100,000 a week just in mineral rights.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, to your point, Orlando, I understand where you're coming from, but everybody comes from a hood. Whether you're black, white, Hispanic, it don't make a difference. Y'all come from a hood. It don't make a difference. His hood is just rich. That's all there is to it.
I'll handle their money
There
for
you go, for a modest fee.
Don King.
I know that's right.
I'm the greatest of ever.
Man, fuck Don
I need
King for
I
ruining
need to
Mike
do like The
Tyson.
Rock and start Ballers.
Did he
To
ruin Mike
be a
Tyson, or
sports
did Mike
agent.
Tyson ruin Mike Tyson?
Mike Tyson got ruined when Customato died.
Yep.
Don King ruined him further, and then the coup de grace was Robin Givens.
I've got to
We
run.
were talking
Well,
about 80s and 90s boxing last night with me and 2 of my buddies for hours.
Will's got to bounce. We're going to let him announce his channel and get the hell out.
Yeah, so my channel is WVOGS18, WVOGS18. I do sports cards and comic books, and I have live streams occasionally, and Jeremy's appeared. Anybody is welcome.
I don't know what you're talking about. It had to be my twin fake son off the internet there.
Yeah, must be. Good night, guys.
All right,
Good night,
Will,
See you
get
buddy.
out.
Friday.
No.
Thank
Have
you,
a good night,
Jeremy.
Will.
Good night, y'all.
And then there were 5.
Garth Knight,
Oh,
the evil
man.
twin.
Yeah, I got a guy that uses my picture from the channel, and he calls himself Jeremy Ballrick Jr. And when he says something totally asinine, I always say, and the opinions of Jeremy Ballrick Jr. do not reflect that of kneecap fighting with the Motor City Lions, nor that of smoking Jeremy B.
Hilarious.
Like he goes,
I'm surprised I'm surprised he hasn't been on tonight.
yeah, I think he got mad at me the last time I laid into him for it.
That
Dang,
never
it took
stopped
too
him.
long. All right, so My thing that I want to talk about is how the hell, when I look at the last 5 first pick overall QBs that's been taken, how come nobody's been north of 30 million till now if this was available?
Because the NFL didn't allow it.
No. It was allowed because I looked. That is the absolute max contract for a rookie quarterback ever that's been allowed since the CBA with the rookie cap has been put in place.
I was going to say, I don't understand how he held out all this time. It's slotted.
Right.
Or it's
It's
supposed
a
to
slotted
be.
amount. I think it had to do more about the fully guaranteed than anything, but they literally put every penny they possibly could for the number 1 pick. It has a range where it's like between this and this. And that's where it was at. It was every penny allotted is $39.49 million APY. No, I'm not talking about that. That rookie cap is set at the CBA, the latest CBA. And so every 4 years, it goes up, and that's what it's been. So if you look at it since 2020, that means this is the 5th draft, because 2020 there was a draft, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. This is the most any of those number 1 picks. And you're telling me coming out of college that he was better than Joe Burrow. He was better than Trevor Lawrence. Was he better than either one of those in college coming out? No.
Well, it's like Rilla said. Caleb Williams has the Bears bent over a barrel. They had to do it. They have no other option.
I know.
They had to succumb to what he wanted, or else they were stuck with, who's their backup?
Secret
Yeah.
agent man. Secret
Yeah.
They also
agent
got Brett
They're
Rippon too.
giving you a
Yeah.
number and
Yeah,
Don't they
take
so
got
they-
like a
away
division?
your name.
Don't they got a Division III quarterback as their backup?
Yeah. Secret agent man. Tyson
Secret
Banner.
agent man.
Yeah.
Well, no, but they got Brett Rippon too.
And again,
Oh,
they
shit.
got
They might as well sign
I'm just
Uncle
saying that's
Rico.
what they got.
Teabag.
Hey, did you guys see that quarterback that's like projected to go number 1 next year? What his last name is?
What's that?
Yeah, we ain't touching that one.
What one?
His name's Jackson or Jake Dart or something. I was like, that's a quarterback name to have your last name is Dart.
That's cool. I thought you were talking about the guy that just transferred into Eastern Michigan from Virginia after the commit. Did you hear about his name, right?
Yeah.
No,
Not how it's pronounced.
I know it's
just
not how it's
spelled.
It's
The
how
guy
it's
from
haven't heard
Michigan.
anyone say it
That's
because they
the
didn't
one
have the balls.
that's what I'm talking about, and I'm not
I'll
touching that one with a 10-foot pole.
It's Noah Kaniga is how it's spelled. That's how
Oh, yeah.
I am absolutely too Caucasian to even try that.
You're talking about the guy from Indiana. He played high school in Indiana.
So,
Yeah, this is the first year I've heard of these rookie quarterbacks in the top 10 getting every penny available out of this CBA is what I'm getting at.
all
Before.
it's gonna do is gonna completely reset the rookie platform from here on out. Every rookie quarterback that comes into the NFL is going to want $39.4 million and a $25 million guaranteed signing bonus with all of it guaranteed. Every single one of them. Because they all think they're going to be better than Caleb Williams. And it's going to absolutely mortify, the NFL from this point forward. It's going to kill salary cap. Watch. Next year in the CBA, they're going to bump up, to 400 million, versus what they are now, because they ain't going to have the money to, be able to sign these people.
They're
You
going
know what they should do? Then you have no issues. Do it like the UFL. Everybody makes the same amount of money.
Well,
I mean, you should do it. I mean, if you're going to do it that way, you might as well do it like the NBA and just have, endless amounts of money and don't even give a shit. Sign them to max deals right off the rip.
I think what they should do is they should each position should have a value, like a max value on each position. Like obviously quarterback's gonna be worth more, but like
they
each
did
position
kind
Then
of.
everybody
That's
then
the
everybody's gonna want to play quarterback.
Why does
No, that's the thing. I'm just saying every position needs to have a max value. Like running back should have a max value on what you can make. Quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, every position.
So if I go,
That's
if
what
I
they
go
pretty
to a,
much
if
do.
I go
I
to a
think that
high,
these
tag.
players should be paid on what they do on the field,
yeah,
and not just have some market value. Fuck all that. That's what they need to stop. Stop paying
Yeah,
these
but
guys all this damn money, and then they ain't doing shit.
that's
So
but the problem.
if I'm a senior in high school and I'm a 5-star recruit, and I know the NFL is paying $39 or $35 million a year guaranteed to quarterbacks, and I'm a wide receiver that only can make a max potential of 20, I'm going to become a quarterback, and you're
But
going to have
Yeah,
everybody wanting to be
but
a
you're not a
quarterback.
5-star recruit at quarterback. You're a 5-star recruit at wide receiver.
point
So
here?
that's why
Not
Lamar
just
Jackson plays
quarterback that
quarterback.
gets it. It's
Yeah.
whoever's the number one pick all gets that amount of money.
Yeah,
It's
it's not
it's
just
running
the number.
back,
It's just not
quarterback, to me.
quarterback. It's number one pick. Like next year, the number one pick could not be a quarterback.
But I think
'Cause,
next year's draft is going to be a number one pick is going to be a quarterback.
I don't think
I
so.
don't
The guy
even
from
know.
I think the
I
guy
don't
from
look at
Missouri
According
the
to
is
what
top
I'm
of the
number
looking
one.
board
at
like that
on
anymore because thank
Draft
God
Buzz, the number
we're
one
not
pick is a
picking up there
defensive end.
anymore.
Right.
The guy from Missouri is going to go number one.
I don't know. I
Blaine
think
Gabbert Jr.
I think Ewers is going to have a phenomenal year with Texas, and I think he's going to come out as a number one draft pick next year.
I mean, he'll go top 5, but I think,
Isn't Texas in the SEC now?
Yep.
yeah,
So he's going to go number one after losing 5 games?
he's not even the highest. He's not even the highest projected quarterback right now. He's a third. It's like Colorado boy Sanders and that Dart kid are ahead of
He's
him.
really shitty. Also, so you guys
Well,
are going
let's
to
see.
draft
What they got
the
projected
Patriots are
so
going to draft
far as the
Ewers number
three
one.
top three run quarterbacks is Quentin
I'm going to address
Ewers,
this
whatever his
right
name
now.
is, Quinn
Everybody's
Yeah,
Ewers, Carson
it's
Beck, and Shador Sanders.
yeah, of
everybody's
course.
everybody's saying
I'll
it's
be right back.
okay. Everybody's saying it's because of QBs. No, it's not. The CBA has a set amount. It's range between this and this for every pick. At the pick where it's at, there's a set value. It is regardless of position. Has nothing to
Right.
do with it being a QB. Has nothing to do with it being a wide receiver, DN, tackle,
It's
guard, whatever.
right. It's
Yeah, that's what I'm
slotted
trying
like
to say.
1 to 3, 4 to like
And
7,
that
Every
makes
something like
pick
sense.
that.
gets a little less. Every pick gets a little less as you go
Right.
through
Yeah,
Yeah,
the draft in
but
each
that
round.
makes sense.
Has a significant drop to the second round. And they did that because of something that Orlando mentioned earlier. We have 3 of the top 10 rookie salaries ever right here
I
in
was going to
Detroit. At
say because of Ndamukong Suh.
Calvin Johnson, Matt Stafford, and Ndamukong Suh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know. I was
When
trying to get everybody to talk. Stop, Orlando. I already had it. You guys are a minute behind in the chat, so let me direct it now. What I'm saying is, it doesn't matter what the position is, and it's not about the QB salary. What I'm saying is, if it had been Marvin Harrison Jr. going number one overall, he could have made $39.49 million because that's the
yeah.
max you could make. It's every penny available in the rookie CBA at that pick in that position of the first round.
Okay, so a question to that: do you think that the NFL's collective bargaining is going to come in, this next offseason and reset that rookie salary cap and hold true to it?
Well, they have held true to it. That's what I'm saying.
No,
And
I mean, but lower it down, to where it's going to be an even playing field.
no, it's going to go up proportionately with the salary cap.
Yep.
Rick Diaz, who's going to win the Super Bowl? Nobody knows. Who's Jose? All I know is, the reason why we have so many illegals here in America is because we always say their name when we start the national anthem. Jose, can you see? There, I'll be evil and
Oh,
run.
it's horrible. Y'all should come to Texas and see how bad it is down here with that.
Oh, I know.
The
Oh.
answer is Kansas City, us if we get there against Kansas City, or Cincinnati.
Wait, right.
I don't
Cincinnati
think-
ain't going to no Super Bowl, man.
I
I don't know
don't
why
think-
you guys. I don't know why
No.
everybody thinks Cincinnati's going to do something. They ain't gonna be shit this year. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Because
I-
when
They
Joe
don't have an
Burrow is
offensive
healthy,
line.
they
They
can
went
at
down on a
least to
running
the
back.
AFC Championship game.
Hey,
The
I'm telling
defense
They
is
lost their
bad.
best defensive player.
Kansas City is not making it to the Super Bowl, for the simple fact that Taylor Swift is going to suck the soul out of Travis Kelce and his head's going to be all fucked up and he ain't going to be able to play.
It didn't work last year.
She wasn't
Yeah,
doing it
that's
like she
right.
should have.
That's about the only thing she can do.
Yeah, well, he went on tour with her, so now it's over. It's done. That dude's coming back wearing, a pink tutu and painted nails like Caleb Williams.
Does that mean we're gonna have a Quifty baby?
Fuck's
Oh
sake.
God.
So how do you guys feel about, let's kind of get off subject a little bit. How do you feel about Tom Brady, with his broadcasting debut coming up in about 6 weeks?
It'll be interesting.
Don't
It's
care.
all gonna be interesting.
I wish they didn't take the tight end off though. He was pretty good at it. I thought Olsen.
Yeah, Olsen. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Romo
thought
was
he-
good at it for a while too. Then he started getting crazy.
Yeah, he has his homers, but they all do too. So
Romo,
As long as we don't have to deal with Joe Buck or Tony Romo, I'm absolutely fine with whoever the fuck is in that broadcast booth.
yeah, Romo's good because he knows what his crack because he can call out a play before it happens. But
Orlando,
he kind
Yeah,
of
Tony Romo was good for that. He would even read a defense.
we don't know
Sometime,
what
you know what I'm
he's
saying?
gonna do. We don't know how Washington's going to do. I gave them all of them, my biggest win windows for a reason, because they're the biggest question marks. Why? You got in Indy, you got a quarterback that looked good but can't stay healthy. Missed almost an entire season. You don't know if he's going to make it past week 4.
Orlando, they're better than you think. They ain't better than I think.
Washington,
Kansas City.
they got
Kansas
JT.
City might have the easiest division this year. They might have the easiest division. The Raiders are going to be bad. The Broncos are going to be bad. The Chargers might be bad again. Kansas City might win that division by 6 games.
without trying.
Because they could win 12. They could win 12, and everybody else could win 5 or 6.
We talked about that because they're the biggest question marks. Will Justin Herbert take that team without the weapons he's had his entire career anywhere further than 9 wins? I doubt it.
Nope.
I just don't think him and Harbaugh is going to get along.
And who's a taller version of Kadarius Toney? Josh
I don't
Downs.
think so.
He'll just be RPOing it.
Yeah, him and freaking Harbaugh are going to get along, running the ball 40 times a game.
They
Yeah,
get
they're
rid of
they're gonna butt heads.
With who?
They get rid
Dead
of
Herbert and
bodies
Harbaugh?
from the Ravens.
What's going to
Backfield?
happen? What's going to happen with Herbert is that, Herbert is that he is going to be essentially taken down out of his role as a quarterback. He's going to be like on a Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts kind of thing, where he's going to be RPOing it so much that his quarterback play is not going to come. And then when his contract comes up, when he got signed to be actually a quarterback, that price is going to dip. They're not going to pay him all that damn.
who else
already
is their
paid him.
offensive coordinator?
Somebody else will and put him on their team, whatever
They
the case
already
may
paid
be.
him.
And you know the funny part is, you know who their offensive coordinator is, right?
Before they got this.
It's Greg.
they
It's
paid him
Greg
before.
Roman for
I'm talking
Baltimore.
about in his next run around.
Oh boy, it's Greg Roman. So yeah, it will be RPOs.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
with
he ran
those
the
two
Lamar
dead
Jackson. He's going to
bodies
run the
of
Lamar
running
Jackson
backs.
offense at Herbert.
Yeah,
Because the Chargers got Gus
Yeah,
Edwards and J.K. Dobbins.
yeah, that's what I was just going into. You had Austin Eckler, who might miss 2 or 3 games a season and be very reliable and get you a lot of yards receiving and rushing. They drop him and add in both of the running backs that neither one can stay healthy more than 9 games a season for the Ravens.
Dead bodies.
I will say J.K. Dobbins has been hurt every year. I think he's missed a season every year. He's like the Joe Burrow of running backs.
San
He
Francisco,
hasn't played a full year.
San Francisco in that division is a lot like the Chiefs. Until somebody knocks them out of first place, I'm not taking them out of there. They keep winning it every year. They rotate their defensive coordinators faster than Jim Harbaugh changes underwear during the season because he has his lucky underwear. But
That's another proven point about Debo. I mean, not Debo, but Brandon Ayuk. Why would you want to be traded from a team that's so successful like San Francisco has been?
right.
Because he
That's the
wants
problem.
money.
I think it was all put up there by the agents just to start some hoopla to see if they could get something going to get him out of there or get the contract talks going. I think it was
Well,
I mean,
agents.
how
so
much better would he
Ayuk,
make another team if he is traded?
so Ayuk wants a Justin Jefferson deal, and San Francisco isn't willing to give him that. So he wants
Nobody's going to give
the
him that
money.
shit.
Nor is
There is
anybody.
there is a team out there that is going to give him what he wants, and it's going to be a team that don't have the salary cap like everybody else, and they're going to want to bring in a big name, a ticket draw, and they're going to pay him. And he's going to go in with a mediocre quarterback, and he's going to get pissed off. He's going to be like Davonte Adams. He's going to be like everybody else. So everybody now in the NFL, it isn't about loyalty. It isn't about longevity. It's all about the money.
So I got an interesting point that I'm going to make right now. Right now, the San Francisco 49ers have 35 million in cap room. If they don't spend a dime and they roll that over, they're only 4 million in the hole.
Yeah. Hey
I mean,
guys, my wife just came out here and told me I got to go eat. My food's getting cold.
okay,
I appreciate y'all. I will see you guys Sunday. Thanks for having me. I hope y'all have a blessed night.
Now, you too, Mike. Thanks, man.
brother.
Good night, homie.
I got it in before he left. Still keep on losing, brother. Oh,
We need that as a sponsor now.
it's coming.
You have two quarterbacks, which means you have none.
How about this, Lace? Bears, Commanders, Vikings, Pats all have unproven rookie quarterback potentially starting this year. 100%. They might give him 30, but they're not giving him Jay Jetta money at 35 plus million.
Yeah, I would even give him Tyreek Hill money at 28 or whatever. I don't think he's that good.
He's not even getting Debo
I
money.
don't even think I still am not convinced he's a number one receiver on a different team.
I don't think he is either.
He's not even number one receiver. I mean, he's not even number one go-to guy on San Francisco. He's like the third or fourth
Well, I
option.
mean, if you go by yardage, he is, but I don't think he was putting up those numbers in another team. If he's going to like a team like Arizona or somebody like that,
I don't think he's
that'll have a number
garbage.
one.
I just
like
think
a
that he
better,
over-evaluates his role. That's all.
Let's let somebody talk so we don't get so much at once. What'd you say, B?
No, I was just saying to Jordan. I was just saying that I don't think he's garbage, but I don't think because he's still got Brock Purdy throwing to him. I mean, he's still a decent receiver. The point of the matter is he's not a number one receiver, so he shouldn't get number one pay.
Right.
If he get number two receiver pay, I would give him that, but I'm not giving him number one receiver pay. Hell no.
Number two receiver, which is that 22 to 27.5 million dollars. That's in that range where I think he belongs.
To me, he's on like that Chris Godwin level from a
I
couple
was
years
just
ago.
about to say, who's that Tampa number two that's never been nor never will be a number one?
Yeah, Chris Godwin. He's kind of like him.
Mm-hmm.
You know where he would be a one, and then we'd see if he's worth a damn? Send him to the Panthers. He'd be a one there all day. He'd be a one as much as all Green Bay fans hate it. He'd be a one up there in Green Bay.
I don't know if he'd be a one. I don't know if he'd be a one in Carolina. I think Carolina got the number one.
Who?
Xavier Leggett. He was the most underrated. He was the most underrated receiver.
I don't get number one if he ain't even played an NFL game. Yeah, I'm not playing that role.
If you look at the cons for Xavier Leggett, it's the same cons that I said about Xavier Worthy. He has a tendency to have a bad high point to the football. He does more body catching than hand catching. His route running is less than stellar. All he has is speed and a little bit of size at 6'2", almost 6'3". So what the problem with him is he has to develop an NFL route tree. He has to learn how to catch with his hands and not his body. And when he high points the ball, he's got to time it better because he tends to do it in front of cornerbacks that separate them from the football.
Brett said it exactly. He'll end up with a bunch of money, but nobody to throw the ball to.
Yep.
Yeah. See, I think T. Higgins is a better receiver than Brandon Ayuk personally.
Ayuk is not signed through 26. This is his 5th year. Debo is signed through 26 because he just re-signed a 4-year deal 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question.
It's the opposite way around. Ayuk is
Neither of
signed.
them are worth the money that they're trying to get, but like all things being equal, would you rather have Ayuk or T. Higgins?
I think T. Higgins.
I think they're one and the same person, to tell you the truth.
Same.
They're exactly the same. If they don't have those elite options around them to make it so they're not so covered, they wouldn't be as good.
Right.
Here's where I think though I think T. Higgins can do it because you've seen him do it with Jamar Chase hurt, and you also if you actually think about it, it's just him and Jamar Chase. There's no George Kittle at tight end. There's no Christian McCaffrey at running back like the 49ers got one of the best play callers in Kyle Shanahan.
I will tell you that Leggett had a 2nd round rating on him, and they were looking at him later in the 2nd round. In the 1st round, we were looking at Terrion Arnold or Darius Robinson, is every report I ever seen. So if Leggett would have fell to where he was projected to, which was between pick 58 and 73, they would have taken him. Why is Brian Thomas overrated? Because he does not do contested catches. He runs horrible routes. He has 2 routes. He has the go route and the fade route. And if he isn't wide open, he does not catch the ball.
Brian Thomas, that's the Carolina guy?
LSU.
No, he was LSU that went to Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant, Jacksonville.
Yeah, the Carolina's Leggett. I like him. I think he was the most underrated receiver in the draft.
Teal.
I think.
Yeah, I don't like Brian Thomas Jr. as much as what people do.
I think it's Keon Coleman myself, because if you actually read his report and study it, he actually catches with his hands. He high points the ball at the right time after he beats a corner, not before.
Keon Coleman, where did he go to college?
Florida State, but his problem is he's slow.
Finish there.
His problem is he don't separate. He only ran like a 4.7.
When you got a contested catch rate in college of 92.8%, you don't have to separate.
Yeah, but NFL corners are going to press you. They're not going to play.
Who drafted him?
Buffalo.
Bills.
I mean, everything's about route running.
He's going to be Buffalo's number 1, more than likely. But I think
much at this point.
I think Kincaid's leading Buffalo in receiving yards this year.
I think with Buffalo, they're going to try to use Chase Claypool as the long down the field receiver and use Dion as the slot or number 2 because he's the better route runner. So route running as a receiver. Amon St. Brown is not fast, but that dude put up 1,515 yards last year on a messed up leg. He knows how to run.
He's also a good route runner,
and he's a good route runner, and he has.
That's what I'm saying. You don't have to have speed to be a good route runner. You just got to be a good route runner. Keenan Allen's not fast either.
He still ran a 4.5. A 4.5 and a 4.7 is a pretty big difference.
No,
so
not
it's
really.
route running.
No.
Yeah, it is. 4.5.
Wait. There's guys that ran 4.7 but still clocked 21 and 22 miles an hour in college by satellite. And if you look at it, they were either struggling with an injury or some type of illness at the time of the combine when they ran their slow speed every damn time.
Yeah.
St. Brown, tell me he looks like a 4.56 guy.
I think he does. I just think he's a good route runner. Keenan Allen's the same player, basically. He's like a slow 4.5, 4.6 guy, but he's a good route runner.
Exactly.
But you have to be like elite at that.
Once you're 4.5 or more, it doesn't matter. You're not fast. 4.5, 4.7, whatever.
But that's my point. Keon Coleman's not a route runner. He's a 4.7 guy he's a N'Keal Harry basically. He's just a contested jump guy. He's not a route runner. That's not his game.
Wow! Don't
He
you
ran
dare put
great
that
routes.
N'Keal
I
Harry
don't
on
know
his
where you said
name.
that. They said he had one of the best route trees coming out of college. I don't know where
I
you got
don't
that one.
N'Keal Harry, he
I don't
said.
think Keon Coleman's
Shame
good at
on you,
all.
Jordan.
Yep,
Him and Brian Thomas
it's
were
right,
the two
baby.
receivers I didn't like.
He increased it from
N'Keal
100
Harry.
to 101 per hand. He catches 101 in one hand and 101 in the other hand at the end of
That's what
every.
N'Keal Harry was in college. Don't tell me I'm wrong. That's what he was, as a contested guy that can't run routes.
Oh, N'Keal Harry was that, but Keon Coleman is not that. He runs routes. They said he
I
has.
don't know.
They said
It's
he has
not.
a progressive route tree
I
coming
think
out.
he was the worst.
It's not
He was
even
the worst
N'Keal
runner
Harry's
of
fault.
those.
He got drafted at wideout by the Patriots. Not even God could save him.
Brent DeWitt, there's the answer I've been waiting for. Some guys have a faster game speed too. There are guys that cannot run in shorts, but look fast as lightning in pads.
But my point is, he can't separate. Keon Coleman doesn't separate. You go look at the numbers; he don't separate. He's a contested catch guy. In college, at least, that's what he was. I'm not saying he can't develop to that, but I'm just saying that in college, that's what he mostly was, as a contested catch guy. Most of his catches were just throw a jump ball and out muscle route.
He was the guy that was a mid-end specialist in college. He always ran right into the defense, which means he had to be a contested catch guy. Because 9 times out of 10, you either got a linebacker, a safety, or corner right on you.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
not saying he
he's a
can
six,
be. I'm just
he's
saying that's what he
6'3".
was in college.
You know, Keon Coleman used to play for Michigan State, right?
And we saw him. He's a route runner.
From what I've seen, I didn't think he was. I thought he was the worst one of the top guys. Him and Brian Thomas, I wasn't a big fan of.
Brian Thomas is the one I was the most out on.
Yeah,
He's
actually, the guy I actually liked at Florida State was the other guy. I liked him better than Keon Coleman. The other guy from Florida State, I can't think of his name.
Johnny Walker, the big guy.
Yeah, Johnny Wilson. Yeah, I liked him better than Keon Coleman. But he's like 6'8". I think he might be too big.
Pickens can't run routes or create separation, but makes incredible catches too. We don't know if Pickens can't run routes because he hasn't had a quarterback that knows how to read a
He
playbook.
hasn't had a goddamn quarterback.
Oh no, I've seen George Pickens run some routes in college. Yeah, in the NFL, I'd say
Where'd he go to college?
Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
If you go watch George Pickens college tape, he had like 7 or 8 different routes he was running. He knows the route tree. In the NFL, yeah, they kind of have to run certain routes. But that's also more than Matt Canada offense that he's been in.
I'm on the Brian Wright, Xavier Worthy, and Xavier Leggett hate train. All of them were horrible route runners. All of them were one-trick ponies that if they weren't wide open, they didn't catch anything because they had to make body catches because none of them could catch with their hands.
Yeah. Worthy is fast, but his problem is only 160 pounds, and teams are just going to press him.
And he's channeled his hands from a former Lions tight end named Eric Ebron.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think Leggett's going to be good just because he's so good after the catch. Those guys typically translate.
I watched some OTA tapes before the quarterbacks got there with KC, and the quarterback coach, who's a former NFL quarterback, so he's throwing spirals at 10 yards away, hitting him in the hands, and he couldn't catch the ball, and they were only 1/10 the speed of anything that Pat Mahomes throws.
Are you talking about Worthy?
Xavier Worthy, yes.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of him either. I mean, I was like, yeah, he's fast, but I mean, if they, but NFL coaches can work on this route running and stuff.
It's more about what he does with the ball after the catch that's impressive about Worthy. And it's the same thing with Adonai Mitchell, but Adonai Mitchell is a much better route runner and has way better hands than Xavier Worthy has.
Yeah, Donnie Mitchell didn't go to the first round because of his off the field issues.
Right.
Because I think he should have went. He should have been the 3rd or 4th receiver taken if by talent. But
I didn't say that John Ross 2.0 for Xavier Worthy. I think that might be giving him too much credit credit because John Ross at
I
least
think
fought.
he's better. I think he's better
No,
than I
Henry
think he's better
Ruggs
than
was
John
John
Ross.
Ross 2.0.
I
Right?
think he's better than John Ross. John
No,
Ross also the biggest issue is he can't stay healthy.
at the same time, that second season, Henry Ruggs proved that stigma wrong. He actually looked like he was becoming a great wide receiver, and then he got stupid.
Yeah.
Because his second year, he lit it up.
Texas though, they haven't really had any good wide receivers in a while, and they've had like good ones in college, but not really in the NFL in a while.
I don't know. I think it's funny that Stephon Diggs may end up being the wide receiver 3 or 4 in that fucking room for the Texans.
I don't understand why they went and got him.
Yeah, but you wonder too, like was Nico Collins just a 1-year wonder type guy?
No, just CJ Stroud's that good.
No, Nico Collins, you actually watched him in college. He was really damn good at Michigan. Detroit Dom can't even say anything bad about
He's a
Wally.
monster.
I think Tank Dell. Tank Dell was my like underrated guy last year. He was to me like the. I kind of say like he was the day 3 or day 2 or whatever. He went in Zay
He was
Flowers.
money until he got hurt.
Right.
Yeah, I think he's legit. But Nico Collins has been in the league a few years and never really did anything, and then he has like a one big year after like
Have
a
a
400
fucking
yards.
quarterback.
He finally
Yeah,
had
but you don't go. Yeah, but he only had 400 yards was his career high. You don't go from 400 to 1,200 just because of a good
You
quarterback.
had Davis Mills for 2 years. You're only going to have 400 yards receiving.
Nah,
If
they
you
had
put
other guys that
Davis
had.
Mills-
They had.
Davis
Well,
Mills.
I'm gonna tell you something
You know
about
who the
Michigan.
leading receiver was before that? Some dude like Chris
Michigan
Moore.
receivers are a standard or above, a little bit above average. I've never seen a very good wide receiver come from Michigan.
Thank
Nobody.
you.
Desmond Howard was an average receiver, and you see where they stuck his ass half the time on kick returns.
Right.
So
Braylon
just
Edwards was the best one, and that's based off one season.
For me, I just
Yeah.
got to see Nico Collins put up 1,200 yards
Nico
again.
ain't bad. I'm not saying Nico's bad, but
agree.
he's going to be above. He's an above average receiver. He's not
Yeah.
flashy. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to be. That's why they got Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, I think people think like he's going to be number 3. I don't think he's going to be number 3. He'll be number 1 on that team. Him and Tank Dell will be their top.
You're paying all that money for Stephon Diggs. He's definitely going to be number 1.
As a
I
guy,
don't know
Yeah.
what the fuck they think number
He's their
3
best
is.
receiver. Just hands down, he's their best receiver.
I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, someone that used to go down to U of M all the time and watch them in their practice facility. The guy that I liked better, and J.U. Chesson at the time was a senior, and I thought he was god awful. T.J. Weiss did a number coaching him that year. Nico, as a rookie that year, was the guy that I loved. Everything thrown his way, he caught.
The guy that might surprise some people. The guy might actually surprise some people this year for the Texans that nobody's talking about in the receiver room is John Mechie.
John Mechie's on the verge of being cut, is what I've heard. He's a they
He's
say
a
he's
guy.
on the outside looking in.
And David and Eric David Terrell wasn't
David Terrell never had 1,000-yard
wasn't
season.
great either though. He was okay. I mean Michigan receivers hold their own in the NFL, but none of them break out to be superstars.
Michigan State
Chris
receivers.
Carter's about what? Not Chris
Plaxico.
Carter. Anthony Carter was
Mason
probably
Mohammed.
close
Let's
to
just
being a
be
star.
let's just be honest.
Michigan
Michigan
State
is
has
most,
the better wide receivers and the better running backs for the last 30 years.
let's just be honest. Michigan's more of a defensive school.
Oh, 100%.
Actually, they're
The
offensive
defense-
line school too.
D-line and
offensive
O-line.
line. Yeah,
And that's it. And Tom Brady.
yeah
and that's
they're like
it.
Iowa. They're defensive players and
Woodson.
offensive line.
But
They might put a
Woodson's
tight
a
end out there or
goddamn
something.
unicorn.
Right. Woodson was the right. Absolutely, Eric Dalton. Desmond was
Yes,
a Super
kick
Bowl MVP.
returner, not receiver.
Receiver wise,
Yeah,
David Tyree didn't go to Michigan. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Tyree didn't go to
Tyree.
Yeah, but
And
Tyrell.
David Tyree wasn't even that
I
good. He
have
just made a
no
helmet catch.
idea where David Tyree went to college.
Nobody even knew who David Tyree was until he made a helmet catch.
Some other
Yeah.
guy that
I don't even think Eli Manning knew who he was.
Facts.
Mario Manning.
Manningham's another case, another receiver that's
Quality, not
I would
good
say
good.
enough.
he might be the best one.
No, he ain't the best one.
It's Braylon,
Braylon
Braylon
had,
Edwards.
Yeah, Braylon might be the one that's a cut above,
which
and
isn't
even
saying
then, that's
much.
saying a lot.
He had one great season
Yeah.
with Derek
What about
Anderson.
actually
oh,
your guy what's the guy that plays for Detroit that played at
You want
Cleveland?
to know who the best wide receiver that Michigan has? It would have been Charles Woodson.
Yeah, but isn't that guy for? I mean, he's not great, but he's a decent number 2 or 3. The guy for the Lions that played for Cleveland, that you guys traded for.
Oh, DBJ?
Oh,
No,
DPJ.
Yeah,
he's another one.
yeah,
He's another.
People's
I'm
Jones.
telling you, Michigan wide receivers are very good number 2 or number 3 receivers in the NFL. Not flashy, but they get the
Yeah,
job done. But they're not going to be up there like, oh, they're not going to get
yeah.
paid all the
Yeah,
millions of dollars that
there's no
JJ is going to get
Plexico.
or
There's no
Amon's going to get
Musin
because they're not those
Mohammed.
kind of receivers.
Shit, Derek Mason.
who?
Derek Mason.
Who?
Exactly. Yeah, 10,000 career receiving yards.
He
Not
went to
one of those
Michigan.
Michigan guys has that many. Musin
Oh, did
Mohammed's got more than that.
where
Plexico's
did
got more than both of those two that I mentioned.
Darren Mason go to college?
Michigan
Fucking
State.
Michigan State.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Michigan State had receivers.
And the
Well,
running
Michigan State,
backs.
they have a run on quarterbacks too for a while until recently.
Until Kirk
They
I
had a
Cousins.
run.
love Kenneth Walker, man.
Boy,
Yeah,
Kenneth Walker
Kenneth
the third
Walker.
was shit. That
K9
dude
is
is
my favorite running back in the league, not named Chubb or Gibbs.
too bad he didn't stay healthy last season.
yeah.
He's been banged up.
They are asking him to
And now
do a
they got
lot too.
Charbonnet. It's an in-state battle.
I'm gonna tell you what, the difference between quarterbacks, whoever starts for Seattle, is gonna be how Kenneth Walker goes. When Kenneth Walker was with his first year, didn't he play his first year with Russell Wilson?
No.
No, the first year
Maybe.
was Geno Smith.
Walker was
Gino.
with
Eugene Cyril Smith the
I
third.
thought isn't this Geno Smith's third? This is third year, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and this is Walker's 3rd year.
third year. Charles Rodgers was great in college.
I was about to say he was.
Charles Rodgers put up great numbers on an under 500 Michigan State team.
That's
And
okay.
he got him to the NFL and blew all that crap.
They're not taking the fact that he was great in college. That was the point, and he sucked in the NFL.
The worst thing that happened to Charles Rodgers was getting drafted to Detroit. He was too close to all the bad elements.
That's why I was so scared about that Hutch pick.
Yeah, but there's
the
a
Homer pick at 2.
That isn't a Homer pick. Come on now. He doesn't have any of that baggage in his background that Charles Woodson had. Or Charles Rodgers.
Yeah.
True. I mean, I think Charles Rodgers would have been fine if he didn't break his collarbone 2 games into his rookie year and then 1 game into his second year.
Yep, and Eric Dalton does bring up a good thing about Anthony Carter. He would have had Hall of Fame numbers if you include his Michigan Panthers stint in the U.S. back then.
Yeah, there you go, Michigan fan. Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
It was still considered a professional league at the time.
Actually, Anthony Carter is probably the best one out of all
That's
of
what
them.
I'm saying. That's what I said before. He's probably the
30 years
most
ago.
well-known Michigan receiver.
Orlando was talking about that because he was there's pictures of him at 9 years old wearing Lions jerseys. What are you talking about?
Do you guys think Corum's going to be good in the pros?
Who?
The running back.
No.
Blake Corum, right?
No, he's a Michigan running back. Why would he be good? Sure, if 3.2 yards a carry is considered good, yeah, he's fucking great. Fucking Mike Hart 2.0.
Oh my God, we already said Tom Brady was great. You're missing the point there, Orlando.
Everybody knows Tom Brady went to Michigan. Come on now.
Plaxico Burress was great at MSU. And Anthony Carter is the best wide receiver to come out of Michigan. And we've said that.
In a very shallow talent pool.
And if Nico Collins can keep up the production he did, over the next couple of
Yeah.
seasons with CJ Stroud, you can put him up there with Anthony Carter.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, Rome. His career, Blake Corum's career. I know it. I know you were just trying to be funny because it's Michigan. The dude put up 5.5 during his career of average rushing yards per carry.
Sweet.
5.5.
5.5 in college is less
Yeah,
than 4 in the
5.5 average his
pros.
career in college.
Yeah, but you got
Less
to think
than
about it,
4
Dom.
in the
You
Okay,
pros.
you got
Don, you said
Dom. You
that
got to
with
also think.
Gibbs when you complained about the
He's
Gibbs pick.
You
He
also
averaged
got to think. So they knew Michigan was going to run the ball 40 times a game.
yeah, and they had two running backs. They had Edmonds or
three, technically.
Edwards,
We had
So
Donovan
imagine if
Edwards.
he played in Alabama or somebody.
Dude had Donovan Edwards, and he still put up 1,245 yards.
And what, 20 touchdowns?
4.8 average that last year, and 27 touchdowns,
Yeah, on 700 carries.
258 carries.
James Burgess does type this with a straight face. Tom Brady was mediocre at best. He's lucked his way to 10 Super Bowls with 7 wins. That can happen to anyone. I typed that with a straight face at first, anyways.
He's more right than wrong.
But see, the thing about people that misconstrue about Tom Brady too, it's not about how well he plays. He's not really he is an above average quarterback, but he's a leader.
Right.
And leaders get the job done. When you're a leader, you get the job done. That's what a quarterback is supposed to. It's amazing how many quarterbacks in this league do not follow Tom Brady's leadership. It's fucked. They want to do
Well,
everything on their own. I'm the quarterback. I'm supposed to be doing this and I'm supposed to be doing that instead of listening to people or trying to get your team better. That's what Tom Brady did with the Patriots. That's what Tom Brady did with the Bucks. I can't tell you nothing else.
and he's clutch.
Yeah, Blake Corum, he didn't have bad. Why are you giving him shit, man?
Because he hated him for running all over Michigan State.
I'm pretty sure all of his games against Michigan State, period, did not eclipse Kenneth Walker's one last game against Michigan. What do you have? Like 250, 280, 5 touchdowns?
And they probably still lost.
Oh, no. They won that game
Oh, they won
by a
that game.
bunch, and then that was it.
Was that the year? Was that the year the punter like dropped the ball or whatever?
No, that was not trouble with the snap.
Oh, sure it was.
That was just that was as good as it got for State against Michigan.
Oh, that
That's
was the
fine.
game. That was the game. Don't let him.
And let me tell you, 2023 wasn't his best season. His best season was 2022 when he had 1,463 yards and 5.9 yards per
I was
carry.
going to say, yeah, Corum's best year was 2 years ago.
But at the
Yeah,
same time, if you remember,
But then again, he didn't have Donovan Edwards wasn't playing at full speed then either. So you had to share the ball with Donovan. Donovan, he got some yards. So
you brought up a key year there, 2022. Let's go back to that for a second. Because you remember, right, when we were playing in the Big Ten Championship and when Blake Corum broke his leg and couldn't play another down in the first quarter, he was having that great season. Where was he ranked in the Heisman ranking at that time?
I think it's top 3.
He was number
1
2.
or 2.
He was number 2. Number 1, and he hadn't played since week 9, was still Hendon Hooker at that time.
And
Who
now
won
we'll
the
never know.
And who
Wasn't
won?
it Bryce Young that won the Heisman that year?
That was the year Caleb won the Heisman that year.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it's Bryce. Yeah, it was. Because last year.
And finishes that game. And then also, Hendon Hooker didn't get hurt in week 9. Caleb Williams doesn't win a Heisman. Yeah, Hendon was favored 100%. I've been trying to say this when everybody talks, but Caleb has a Heisman. He defaulted to the Heisman because everybody that was ranked above him, because at that time, Caleb Williams was ranked 7th in the Heisman voting. Everybody that was
So,
above it either got hurt or they had a bad conference championship game, which is why he elevated to get the Heisman.
so the 2022 Blake Corlin's first 3 games, his most carries was 13, and he didn't have 100 yards in any of those games. But after that, the rest of the year, he had over 100 yards until the last game where he broke his leg. And he actually his biggest game of the year was 243 against Maryland. He had 30 carries in that game, averaging 8.1 yards a carry.
Oh, the vaunted run defense of the Maryland Terrapins.
We got
He had a
somebody.
he did
Fucking basketball school. Get out of my conference and take Rutgers with you.
What'd you
All
say?
right,
What'd you
I'm
say?
done eating, so I can't believe
Hey,
y'all are
there we
still
go.
on this shit.
And I'm going to get the +1 to Eric Dalton here. Isn't that how Caleb got his L'Oreal NIL deal for the fingernail polish?
Hey, Don, what did you say? Kenneth Walker had against Michigan.
Like 230, 250.
Okay. Because Corum had his 2 years ago, he had 177 against Michigan State.
Michigan State's their whole team has been garbage
Since
Yeah.
K9.
since Kenneth Walker left. Thank you.
Yeah.
What's their
Yeah,
coach's name?
man, they ain't been crap without him.
From Revlon. Yeah, there it was. Or maybe
They
it's
gave that dude that used to be the Colorado head coach all that money. They had that one good year with Kenneth
Michigan State.
Walker.
Michigan State ain't been good since what's his name that played for the Raiders came in the playoff game at quarterback.
Yeah, fuck. Damn it, what's his
Connor
name?
Cook or some shit.
Jeff Smoker.
Wasn't that his name?
No,
Wasn't his name
when
Connor
Derek
Cook?
Carr got hurt.
Yeah, Connor Cook or some shit, wasn't it?
Yep.
And that was 8 years ago, 9 years ago.
Yeah. Kenneth Walker had 264 yards against Northwestern in 2021. Then Rutgers, 233.
There it is.
Two teams, is like, yeah, they're stout.
Eric Dalton says Soldier Field is now known as the Big League Mail Center.
Take my truck, Irving. I'd rather you
Funny.
because it's got better headlights.
Buck already came.
Take mine? Take my truck. He wants to drive his car.
That being said,
Fuck your car.
fuck your car. Is that what I heard? Wait, what?
my son's going to the gym and his headlights are all fucking janky. I said, take my truck. And he's like, I don't want to take your truck. I said, his brother's like, take my truck. And he's like, I don't want to take your truck. And I said, he goes, I want to take my car. I said, well, fuck your car.
Hey, who's the best college running back over? Who has the best stats over a 3-year career in college? Do you know? In
Reggie
rushing,
Bush.
who?
Barry
Reggie
Sanders.
Bush.
Reggie Bush.
No.
Not Reggie
Most
Bush either.
No. He's recent. He played for Wisconsin.
Oh,
Jonathan
talking
Taylor.
about Ron Dane.
More recent than that.
More
Jonathan Taylor.
Yep.
Yes, the shitty Wisconsin running backs in the NFL.
He put up almost 2,000 yards in his 3 years every year. He put up 1977, 2194, and 2003.
And
And
38
you know what else he
fumbles.
put up? Yeah, I say he had 49 fumbles and 44 of them lost in those 3 years.
His career average over that time was 6.7 yards a carry.
No, it was Jonathan Taylor. He broke Ron Dane's record. He's right.
Yeah.
But
Well, he almost had shit. He was getting 2,000 yards a year.
Wasn't it neck and neck for like 2 years with Maurice Clarett and Ron Dane for who would be the best running back out of those years in NCAA because they were like going back and forth?
Oh my gosh! Don't bring up Maurice Clarett. That was like the worst bust in Ohio State history.
Clarett only played 1 year, and then he
Like
went along
nobody.
with former Lions draft pick disgrace Mike Williams. Like, I'm going to fight the NFL.
Right. Yeah. Oops.
Was that the same Mike Williams that played for the Cowboys?
No, that's the same Mike
No.
Williams that was
There's been
drafted
8
by
dudes
Detroit.
named Mike Williams.
I know.
No, we
I
did
think the
trade.
last
Didn't we
year-
trade? I
Syracuse
think we
that
traded Mike
died.
Williams to Dallas. We did trade Mike Williams to Dallas.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mike
Roy
Williams
Williams.
came into the league for Detroit, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yep, and then he
Yeah,
got traded.
I was gonna say, I thought he played for Dallas too.
That was Roy.
That was
No,
Roy.
Roy played for Dallas.
William Damn Williams.
No, I thought there was a Mike Williams that played wide receiver for Dallas too.
Could be.
Because Roy Williams went to he played safety
Texas.
for Dallas, and then he played somewhere else later in his career too.
Yeah, there was a Roy Williams safety and a Roy Williams receiver.
Correct. And
Roy
8
Williams.
guys named Mike
Maybe it
Williams
was
that
Roy
played
Williams
wideout.
at receiver. I
Because
thought it was
there's
Mike
Syracuse.
Williams.
Syracuse
better
Mike
than
Williams
damn-
that died. There's USC Lions Mike Williams. And then
Yeah.
And then
there's
the guy that plays
San
for the Jets.
Diego Mike Williams.
Plus
Yeah.
10 to James Burgess. I smoked weed with Ricky Williams and Willie Nelson. That's a plus 10 comment right there.
I smoked weed
That's a
with
fucking lie.
Amon
He
Green.
wouldn't be alive right now.
I smoked weed with Amon Green at Metro Airport.
But wait, okay. Michael Troy Williams, born on January 4th, 1984, played for the Detroit Lions, Oakland Raiders, Tennessee Titans, and Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was Pete Carroll's personal reclamation project.
Oh, and we forgot that he went to the CFL in 2013 and played for the Toronto Argonauts.
You want to say hi?
Who was
You want
that?
to say hi?
It might have been.
Was that Mike Williams?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Want to say hi?
Yeah, Roy Williams played for.
Oh, I knew who I was thinking of. Who I was thinking of is Terrence Williams. That was the Williams I'm thinking of, the play wide receiver for the Cowboys. Terrence
Well,
Williams.
Roy Williams did too. Roy Williams played a receiver for the Cowboys for 3 years, 2008 to 2010. Then he went to Chicago.
Terrence Williams.
There is a death
He
in
fleeced
NFL
the
that
fuck out of Dallas for Roy Williams.
there is a death that happened over the weekend in the NFL that I would like to give respect to that we didn't on Sunday, and that's rest in peace Monty Kiffin, Lane Kiffin's dad.
Oh no!
Coordinator at Tampa Bay and head coach for a minute. It didn't go well, but he went back to being a defensive coordinator.
Love you too,
Rest
buddy.
in peace, good sir.
Drive safe.
Yeah, Monty Kiffin was a great defensive coordinator.
Better coordinator than head coach, 100%.
Yep.
Looking at
That's how
you,
it usually
Scott
goes.
Linehan. He never got a head coaching job, though.
No. They need to make Clash of Titans and feature the Argonauts of Canada.
Where did he coordinate at?
Tampa for a long time.
Oh, okay. With what?
Where else?
Was that when Gruden was there?
He was with Dungy. And then he got a head coaching job when Dungy left and then came back and was the defensive coordinator under Gruden when they won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. When like 2002.
Yep. So he went to be the head coach and failed. And when Gruden got the head coaching job there, because that was after Morinelli left to come to Detroit. We had the Eminem.
I have to give a shout out.
Marinelli
I have
when
to
we
give a shout out to Dom. I've been watching. He's been keeping up with me beer for beer, since we started this whole thing today.
There you go.
Cheers. I'm keeping up with Mountain Dews. That
You
holds it
saw
all
this
for you.
one and this one.
Well, I went
So-
through a 6-pack of Land Sharks. Now I'm working on Michelob.
Oh, Land Shark. That's
All-time
Here's-
running back.
Buffett's beer.
I'm going to ask a question here.
Okay.
All-time running back, college and NFL. Who was the GOAT?
What is it?
Jim
Easy.
Brown.
Darren McFadden.
He said Darren McFadden.
Now,
Jim
what was
Brown.
that question again?
I don't
I'll tell you
know where did Jim Brown
There's
go?
only two choices.
Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders or Emmitt Smith. Those are only
Where
two
did Jim
answers.
Brown
you
go to
get.
college?
You said
Well,
the GOAT, with college and NFL.
yeah.
Yeah,
Nick
That's
Chubb.
crazy.
he said Nick Chubb.
I'm sticking to Jim Brown, hands
Where did
down.
Jim Brown go to
Remember Jim
college?
Brown playing in college because he went into the military and then got out and he had his 3 years done and was able to get right into the NFL. He didn't play college.
And I also can't take somebody from 1945. Sorry.
Right.
I would say if you got to go further back than that, then you got to say Doak Walker because they
I
did.
was going to say Doak Walker.
I'm gonna say
I'm
Barry. I'm gonna tell you why I think Barry Sanders is a GOAT. The guy had the best single season in NCAA history as a running back. Dude put up 2,628 yards with a 7.6 yards per carry. The fuck.
And then what did he
And
do?
he was returning
That's how you
kicks.
average 5 in the pros.
Yeah, but then you also got to look that he played in the Big 12.
He was
Yeah,
behind
they didn't
Thurman
play
Thomas
defense
through
back
most of
then
that
either.
time. You got to remember
Yeah, but
that.
he played at Oklahoma
Back then-
State, who didn't play shit.
Wait, Big 12
Oklahoma
back then
State
was
sucked.
actually a powerhouse conference.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
at that time,
look who
Not on
my daughter
defense.
went to Oklahoma State. I've been there. I've looked at everything from Pickens Stadium. I've went to multiple games there. If you put Barry Sanders into a different college, he was a great running back in the NFL. Probably one of the best. I will give you that.
Probably
But-
one of?
Probably one of.
Definitely the best if it's
Top
not
5.
Jim Brown.
Top 5. But then you also got to look at Adrian
First
Peterson.
of all, stop using schools as an excuse for being great. Okay, just because the school is not
He
shit,
said probably top
he still
5.
had to play in the Big 12. It was the Big 8 at the time.
Yeah.
So he had to play against Oklahoma, who was a powerhouse, and he put up yards against Oklahoma that year.
He had to play
Twice.
Texas.
He had to play
He had
Texas.
2,000 yards
put
in
up-
14
I don't give a damn.
games.
The dude put
in
up
the NFL.
2,628 yards and had 7.6 yards per carry. Get the fuck out of here.
So did Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson put up no 7.6 in college.
No.
6.7.
Well, that's a big difference.
Inversion there. There's an
That's
inversion
the
there.
difference. That's the difference between 5 and 4.2 in the pros.
Hey, if you guys
That's
want to be
why Michigan
technical,
running backs average
But
3.2.
who actually averaged more yards per carry in the pros? Was it Barry Sanders or Adrian Peterson?
It was fucking Barry. Come on.
Barry.
Barry,
In
Jim
NFL
Brown,
history.
and Nick Chubb are the only 3 to average 5 yards a carry. Fuck Jamal Charles and his
here's what I'll say.
carries.
Here's what I say. Do you know the running backs that's the top 15 in college roughing all time and NFL? There's only one guy.
Barry Sanders.
It's Barry.
Nope. For career rushing for college and NFL.
Oh, Emmitt Smith with his
Nope.
11,000 extra carries in the NFL.
Curtis
No.
You said top
Was it
what?
Franco?
He did play. Hey, I'll give you him. He did play for the Dallas Cowboys. Though.
Adrian Peterson's highest average run per carry was 5.7 in college.
Pathetic.
Yeah, but he also didn't start all
And he
3
played
years.
for Oklahoma.
It was
in the Big
Tony
12.
Dorsett.
Okay.
Tony Dorsett's 4th all time in rushing yards in
I was
college.
going to say he's top 10 all time NFL.
Yeah, he's the only one. So you could say he's the GOAT of if you're technically putting college and NFL together, because he had 6,082 yards in 43 games in college, which is 4th most.
All right. How many negative plays did Barry have? It was every other play the one year because the O-line couldn't stop anything on first down. Remember those days?
The unfortunate part is that Barry Sanders could have probably been, the league's best running back ever. Touchdowns,
He was.
yards, everything. If he didn't go to Detroit.
No.
In them years where Detroit was horrible.
He
Just
has
like you said.
defended that. He defended
And
that.
even still, he had 1,000 yards every year. Not to
And
mention
made the Pro Bowl
2,000
every-
yards.
That's a record that's never been
2,000
broken.
yards in 14 games.
Well, I mean, I understand that, but you put him behind an offensive line that could have
Well,
blocked.
yeah, in Dallas,
Imagine what he
yeah,
could have
he'd have
done.
had 2,000 yards every year.
Well,
And
imagine what he
Jordan,
would
what
do
did you
with
say
it.
about what Dorsett was? What
Well,
Dorsett have?
fourth,
Fourth all
What?
time in
he had
college.
rushing yards.
Yeah, he had 6,082
Yes.
yards.
Yeah, that's fourth
His
most.
and even then, his best season was 1948, and he
Yeah.
had and that was
Yeah.
and actually his best yards per carry was 6.8, and that was in 75 playing for
That's
Panthers.
that's the specific
Yeah.
year we're talking about.
That's what I'm saying. You got. I'm not taking their career because Barry Sanders obviously didn't have a full career. He only played 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm
So
Yeah,
saying
because he was
he was
back
always
after Thurman Thomas for a
one
year.
traumatic 1 year of school, he put up that much as a starting running back.
Mhm.
Think
I
about
mean,
that.
granted, he had half of those yards that 1 year in the Holiday Bowl.
Right. But
He
anyways,
had like 350 and 6 touchdowns.
can I make my point?
Who Barry?
No, Lord. Let me make my point, please, guys. If not for
No,
the Utley Andelsick tragedies that year, where the one died and the other one broke his neck, that was the year that he set the record for most times being tackled for a loss. We lost half of our interior O line with 2 injuries and had backups playing. He was never that hit behind the line the rest of his career because we did have a good O line when Barry was there. Because otherwise, Scott Mitchell couldn't have made three receivers catch 1,000 yards.
I was going to say, what do you think Barry would run behind this Detroit line?
Oh my
oh
God!
shit.
2,000.
If he's in his prime, he'd be hitting 2,000 by himself.
2,300 with the extra game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he
Well,
ran in
hang on.
today's
Do the math. I mean, running
NFL,
backs don't get the number. What's 20 times 17 times 5? Or I'm sorry,
Okay, and so
17
it's a
times
little bit of
5
an
times 20.
exaggeration. They figured it out, and the record for most lost yardage in the season was Barry, and it was that season that we're talking about with Utley and Andelsick. It literally was 572 yards negative, but he rushed for
Barry
1,430.
Barry Sanders
1,700. 20 times
lost.
17 times 5 is 1,700. So you get 1,700 yards.
that's what
Barry
you think.
Sanders lost more yards than most running backs get in 3 or 4 years.
So you're saying he would average 100 yards a game then?
Yes,
Yep.
So where did
5 yards a
Walter
carry and only on
Payton
20 carries because that's all you
come
get
into all
anymore.
this?
you're just another +1. Barry behind this line, I might ejaculate thinking about it. Oops, there it goes.
I think if Barry was behind the Lions line, he'd get 2,000 yards.
He
Barry lost
wouldn't get the carries.
6,812 yards in his
Because
career.
think
No,
about it.
no
Think
one
about
gets
it,
the
Dom.
carries like that.
Dom,
Even
but think
20
about it.
carries a game, 17 games is
Dom, you're
340.
not thinking though. Think about what David Montgomery just had. And David Montgomery's not half of what Barry Sanders is. What do you have, like 1,200?
He had 1,182.
Yeah, and he's getting 20 carries a game, and he's not Barry Sanders. He's not even getting 20 carries a game. Barry would
Yeah,
average
Barry's
probably
probably getting
Nobody's Barry Sanders.
six,
That's
he
maybe
probably
seven
would
behind this
average
O
6
line.
yards a carry behind that Lions line.
Right now, he'd probably be averaging 7 yards a carry like he did in college because we got 4 yards of separation before somebody gets hit.
That's why I said he probably would have
Okay, 2,380.
Yeah, like I said, he'd be getting 2,000 easy.
Or 3,000 behind the 90s Dallas O line on less carries.
Fuck, I could have rushed for 2,000 yards behind that line.
I
Behind
feel
the
like
Dallas line or the
I
Detroit
could get a
line.
solid 1,200 for sure.
When is 1,000 yards?
The correlation between Jim Brown and Barry, and I always try to give the edge to Jim Brown because he had like 5.2 for his career in rushing attempts per carry.
Yep.
He still, with all the accolades that he still didn't go 9 seasons all with 1,000 yards. He only had 8 seasons with 1,000 yards. Barry hit 1,000 yards every fucking season.
And 2,000 is last year.
Yep.
Look, as a Vikings fan, I will tell you this: Barry Sanders is probably the best running back that's ever donned an NFL uniform. There's no question about it. It
Now
just
we
sucks that
convinced
he was
him.
on a
He
shitty
went
fucking
from maybe
team
top 5
for
to
a lot of
probably the
fucking
best.
years.
All I know is
hey, you know what, Mike? I agree with you on that one.
all I know
Yeah,
is
Well,
he
every
wasted all his damn
defense that
time here.
faced him. If you look, they tried to gang tackle him and couldn't tackle him.
Well,
I think the
no,
best.
no.
I think the
Peterson
best
is the
two
best
running backs
running
are from
back of
this
his
division.
era, but he's no Barry.
Say that again,
I
Joe.
think
There is no Barry.
I said I think the best two running backs ever are from this division: Walter Payton and Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Jim Brown could be thrown in there too, though. But Jim Brown was a hell of a
Oh
running
yeah,
back.
yeah. Those are the best 3.
Yeah.
I mean,
The top three right there.
And I rank
in the NFC North, hands down, modern era, I'm taking Barry Sanders and I'm taking Adrian Peterson.
I'm with
In
you.
their prime. In their prime, there was nobody stopping AP. The dude was a
I would
beast.
have to add Walter Payton into that. If you're talking about in their prime, Walter Payton, Barry Sanders, AP out of this
Yeah,
division.
And don't forget
I would
LaDainian
agree
Tomlinson.
with that.
And I was going to say, right after those 3 that we named already, Jim Brown, Barry Sanders, Walter Payton, right after him, to me, is LaDainian Tomlinson.
LaDainian
LaDainian
Tomlinson
Tomlinson is
is
as close to
the
Barry you're going to
the
get.
modern version of Barry
Yeah.
when utilized properly as a pass catcher.
I mean,
Yeah.
LT prime with the Chargers. Yes, I will 100% concur. With that.
I'm
Yeah,
not
because I think
the Jets ruin
LT
everybody.
was more LT was more consistent than AP. I feel like. I mean, AP had the 2,000-yard season, but LT was always 1,600. I felt like every year, 20 touchdowns.
And another like 700 receiving.
There
Yeah.
was 4
I
years
mean,
in
but
a row,
you guys have to admit, whether or not you're a Bears fan or you're a Lions fan or you're a Packers fan, Adrian Peterson, it was fun to watch.
Mhm.
I mean,
Burgess
even
just said something about Marshall.
even if he was playing the Lions, I mean, just watching how the dude played the game, he was fun to watch. It was actually enjoyable to watch a running back, do what he did.
Well, we know that record ain't get. We know that single game record ain't get broke because nobody runs the ball enough to break that.
No,
So,
never.
It was
And the thing that pisses me off that Ray Childress could have let Adrian Peterson beat the all-time record if he would have rushed the ball the last 2 plays of the game. He would have beat Eric Dickerson's all-time game record, and but
He has the
he did
all-time
not
game
want to
record.
do it.
He has a record, 296 yards.
Now, wait, I've been trying to say this about LaDainian Tomlinson for like 5 minutes, and every time I go, hey, you guys start talking. LaDainian Tomlinson has one record that no running back has, and that's 4 years in a row of 1,200 yards rushing and 700 yards receiving. No running back in the NFL has ever done that. So you could say what you want. He was the most complete all-around running back of this era. Barry Sanders was underrated as a receiver because they hardly ever threw him the ball. But when they did, it was a halfback swing pass to the outside, and he was to the house.
That's why I was saying LT was Barry with the right amount of receptions.
I was about to say the only guy I can compare like today's game to LT is CMC.
Calvin Ridley.
You say Calvin Ridley. And he ain't even a fucking running back.
Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis.
Peyton Hillis.
Oh, yeah, he was definitely a one-year wonder. He got on the Madden cover, and you never heard of him after that.
The curse of Madden.
Hey, and Eric Dalton said it best. OJ killed it.
Literally.
And his reply to James after he says, "Oh my F and G," +2 again to Eric. He goes, "James, I had to take a stab at it."
OJ was the only other one besides Barry that had 2,000 yards in 14 games.
Right.
But the glove didn't fit, so I mean, we're good with all that.
He must have quit.
Absolutely.
Hey, rest in heaven.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody deep down knows he did it, but if you can't prove it in court, it never happened.
I know who Willie Flipper Anderson, of the former Rams fame.
Yeah, he still owns the record for that in the single game, right?
Yeah.
No, he don't.
For a running back,
No, we don't.
336 yards receptions.
No, that was receiving.
Oh, just receiving. Dad, that got broke.
Has that ever happened where somebody had 1,000 yards passing, 1,000 yards rushing, 1,000 yards receiving in the same year? Has that happened?
That has not happened.
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
I think Michael Vick came the closest to that, didn't he?
I don't think he had 1,000 receiving, did he?
No, but he had
No, I'm
400
saying 1,000 yards
receiving.
passing and 1,000 yards rushing.
He did do the 1,000.
Oh, it was Flipper.
Yeah.
I know people's done like 1,000 because Lamar did it a couple years ago. But I was trying to think if anybody ever
I
had
don't
1,000.
think Vic ever even had 1,000.
So
rushing.
Flipper owns the record for the most receiving yards in the game. He got
The year
336.
that-
Calvin is second.
The year that the Dirty Birds went up and faced Brett Favre in the playoffs.
Yes, on the road.
That was the year that Vic had 1,000 yards rushing and 2,900 and some odd yards passing.
What's the most receiving touchdowns in the game? You said receiving yards is 336. I wonder what the best receiving touchdown in the game is.
7
I
or
think it wasn't it Randy Moss?
No, it's 4.
it's an old record. It's 7. It's 6 or 7 receiving touchdowns is the record.
No, I think it's 4.
It's 6.
It can't be 4. Marvin Jones had a game of 4.
I'm gonna say Calvin
5.
Johnson had 5.
And there's a whole bunch
Joe
of people
Horn
that
had
have that
4.
record. It's a shared
I think
record.
it's
Jerry
4.
Rice, Kellen Winslow, Bob Shaw, Travis Kel. Oh no, just 3 of them. Jerry Rice, Kelvin Winslow, and Bob Shaw. Those are only 3 that hold the record for receiving touchdowns in a game.
You're right.
how
Yeah,
many?
'cause Moss had 4 against Green Bay, didn't he?
And how many was it? 5?
Calvin Johnson.
No, it was
had
the Patriots. Yeah, against Patriots. It was Buffalo.
Buffalo.
How many?
had a game.
How
where
many
he-
touchdowns was it?
and,
Huh?
How many receiving touchdowns was it? Did they get 5
For what?
for the record? What was the record? 5 or 6?
The record
Or
was 5. Yeah, set by 3
5,
players.
okay.
Yeah, he's right. Right.
So
What's
three
the
players
what's the
touchdown.
what's the most passing touchdowns in one game?
It's 8, I think, by Peyton Manning, or 7 or 8 by Peyton Manning.
it was done by somebody else first. Peyton tied the record, if I remember.
You know who has what the record for most interceptions is in a game?
Rod Woodson.
Yeah, that was set by a Lions player.
No, like throwing, like the quarterback threw so many interceptions.
Yeah.
I think it's Carson Palmer. So he had
No,
I think he had
had
6
never
of them.
7.
There's
Should have been
8
8, one
quarterbacks
got
are tied
called
for the
back.
most passing touchdowns with 7.
8 of them?
Should have
If you're
been 8.
talking
One got called back. It was 7 in Cleveland.
Yeah.
I was
If you're
there.
talking about combined rushing and receiving touchdowns, the record is 6, and it's held by Alvin Kamara, Gale Sayers, and Doug Jones.
Yeah, I knew he had that big game a couple years. That was actually against the Minnesota Vikings.
Go figure.
Why you got to bring up old shit?
That was the end of Mike Zimmer too when that happened.
Yeah, it
Oh.
was.
And the second place starts at 4th place, and it's led by Joe Mixon, Jonathan Taylor, Jamal Charles, Clinton Portis, Sean Alexander, James Stewart, when he was with Jacksonville, Jerry Rice, Kellen Winslow, Paul Hornung, Cookie Gilchrist, Billy Cannon, Abner Haynes, and Jim Brown and Bob Shaw. So that's 12
Whoa.
spots taken up by those guys.
Do you guys know what the last running back duo to have 1,000 yards is?
Say what?
Do you guys know the last running back duo to have 1,000 yards in the same year?
No.
Give us a hint.
That's what I'm asking. I didn't know if any of you guys knew. I'm about to look it up though.
8 quarterbacks are tied with 7 touchdowns thrown.
Yep.
Really?
Nick
Peyton
Foles is
Manning,
one of them.
Well, I know
Foles is
Peyton
one of
Manning's
them.
one of them.
Drew
Drew
Brees,
Brees.
Nick Foles, Peyton Manning.
Damn, Nick Foles?
Y.A.
Yeah.
Tittle.
Remember that game Nick Foles had that 7 touchdown game, man?
It was the
No, I
You
don't
don't
remember
remember
that.
Ryan was it Ryan
Was
Fitzpatrick?
that Philly Nick Foles?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
big.
yeah, that was Philly Nick Foles.
Wow. I didn't know if it was Bears Nick Foles or what.
Oh, it was Philly.
It was Philly.
Oh,
Anyways,
I don't
George
remember.
trying to see this. Adrian Burke.
This is one Mike would like. So, Mike, who holds the most interceptions all time, career interceptions all time?
I know who it is. He plays for the Vikings.
Yeah, it's Harrison Smith.
Wrong.
No, it's
No,
Curse.
all time career, man.
It's Curse.
Paul Krause.
Paul Krause.
Oh, Paul
Yeah.
Krause.
Purple
Okay.
People Eaters. That was when he was on a Purple People Eaters.
Yeah, we were actually talking about that. I don't think you were on the stream. We were talking about a guy in the '90s, that defensive lineman that played for him. What was his name? That was real good.
Well, let's
For who?
see. People that
The
played
Vikings.
lately. Charles Woodson, 65, and he's 5th.
Jeremy, what was that guy's name we were talking about? That was the goofy dude last week. Remember, for the Vikings, real good defensive tackle.
John
Oh,
Randall.
you're talking about the one that went to Houston?
No, he played for the Vikings.
Alan Page.
Like in the '90s.
Randall McDaniel.
Randall McDaniel, Pat Williams,
Yeah.
Kevin Williams.
Yeah, Randall. John Randall.
John Randall.
John Randall. I used to
The
call him
one
Randall
motherfucker
McDaniel.
who would bark at you all game.
Yeah, I said he was the goofy
Dude's
dude, but he was good.
Yeah, that dude's like fucking 5 sandwiches short of a 6-person picnic. You know,
But he was good. He was goofy, but he was good.
He was really good. You know, but hey, I don't know. I'm biased, but you know, I think who do you guys think in the NFC best linebacker in our 4 teams?
The best linebacker in the NFC?
From all time best linebacker in the NFC.
All time?
All time.
Lawrence Taylor.
By the way, in 1922 versus the Philadelphia Eagles, the Chicago Cardinals, Jim Hardy, quarterback, holds the NFL record for most interceptions in a single game with throwing 8 of them.
Holy shit. What do you have, 9 passes?
And that was when it was a running league, really, wasn't it? That's
Right.
when the running league.
That's back when footballs looked like a rugby ball.
That's when Walter
They
Camp
weren't wearing helmets. They were wearing those leather things.
Yeah.
Yeah, leatherneck.
Yeah.
Okay, so the answer my
interceptions though, I don't understand that one.
So the answer my question I asked earlier, the last 2 running backs to rush for 1,000 yards in the season both played for the Carolina Panthers.
That Chuba Hubbard
Rush for 1,000 yards in a season.
They both had over 1,000 yards on the same team. They're the last duo to do it, running back.
Did I say it right? Is it Chuba Hubbard and Donta Foreman?
No, this is way before that.
No, I'll give you a hint. It was 2009.
Jonathan Stewart and
Jonathan Stewart's one of them. Who?
And Cam Newton.
Cam Newton?
Right. No, it had to be a running back.
No, running back. It wasn't
There had
Cam
to be
Newton.
2 running
It was,
backs.
Jonathan Stewart and what the fuck is his name?
D'Angelo Williams.
D'Angelo, yep.
They're the last one to do it. They're the last 2 running back duo to have 1,000 yards in the same season. That was 2009.
Close last year?
Do what?
You know who got really close last year?
The Lions.
Gibbs.
Yeah, because he had like 8 or 850, wasn't it?
He had 900.
Yeah, he had 900 and something yards.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you combine both of them together, they did, but
Yeah.
No, but
individually they did.
He gives us like give me like 7 more carries.
I think
Jameer was a
Adrian
rookie, so
Peterson and
he wasn't gonna
Chester
get
Taylor
that.
got pretty close too, didn't they?
Who?
Adrian Peterson and Chester Taylor.
I don't think Chester had 1,000 yards with a.
Yeah, I don't think so.
A non-football opinion question for you guys.
Okay.
With the WNBA having the USA versus the World format for their All-Star game this week coming up, that means Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark has to be teammates. Will they put aside the petty differences for the sake of the team, or is Angel Reese still going to be a butthead?
She's going to be a butthead.
I think they're professionals. I wish people would stop doing this shit. Stop. They're professionals.
But we haven't seen them act. Nobody in that
Look,
league
I'm gonna.
is professional, really.
Say they're getting paid dollars.
Hey,
They're getting
hey,
paid dollars for their type money compared to the real NBA.
Thrilla,
Well, hey, wait. At the same
Thrilla.
time, the women
What
make
up?
a higher percentage than what the men do when you look at the money they take in. Men make 28%.
You have a better chance of these two dickheads right here listening to me than them two getting along on the court.
Right. I hear you, Mike.
We'll get along.
They're not going to get along.
It's Team USA. They'll save their pettiness for on the professional court in the WNBA, but as the Team USA, they'll be
No,
fine.
it's not an Olympic team though. This is
It's
USA
not.
versus the
It's
world
just
in their all-star
yeah.
game. It's their all-star
That's what-
game. What I'm
Oh,
talking about.
All-Star game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not
Who
going
knows?
to put away. They're not going to put away their pettiness, because
Who cares? Who cares?
you
It's
know
just
it
one
just as
game.
well as I do that women will hold
All-Star
grudges
game.
and they will remember shit that you did 15 fucking years ago that you don't even fucking remember, and they're going to bring it up when you guys get into an argument. These
That's what I'm
girls
trying
are
to figure out how
not
women
that
argue
aside.
with each other all the time because they're bringing up shit from like 10 years ago with each other.
Yeah,
Hey, guys.
Did
exactly.
you remember when you didn't wear that bra then and then motherfucking done?
Yeah.
Eric Dalton says Angel has her balls twisted. Plus one. Ball hog time, James Burgess says.
I think they're both good players for the WNBA. I don't see this instant famous thing going too far though. After this season, it'll go down.
But hey, you have to give it to them. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark have done more for the WNBA this year than any other players, including
Cheryl
what's her name,
Swoops.
Lindsay, Cheryl Swoops, Lindsay, whatever her name was. None of them women have been able to do what these two women have done. And kudos to them. Their numbers are up as far as games watched, the attendance is up. The WNBA is actually making money for the first time this year in their whole existence. And by all means, ladies, do what you're doing because it's only positive for the sport. It's giving young female athletes in the sport, hopes and dreams and aspirations. By all means, do what you do, guys.
But at the same time, every time Caitlin Clark goes to any of those games, they're breaking attendance records.
Well,
Absolutely.
it's same for both players. It's not just Caitlin. It's Reese too. It's people just want to.
The difference is 15.
Most games that don't even involve either one of them are setting records. So the NBA is the WNBA is becoming more popular because of those two, but not necessarily those two's teams.
Well, no, but the Fever has sold out every single home game this year for the first time in existence. No other WNBA team has done that. Consecutively, the Fever has sold out every single game. Packed audience.
And here's the other thing. They had 15,000 more seats filled in the two games at Chicago Sky when they were facing off against the Fever than they've averaged all season at home.
Absolutely.
So there is a little bit of correlance here with what I'm talking about. Also, the viewership, if you look at the games, if it's got Caitlin Clark on it, it's going to be aired.
Yep.
And
it's no different than when Michael Jordan took the league by storm. Chicago was a no-name market. They didn't have shit to do with the NBA, and all of a sudden Michael Jordan started playing great, and all of a sudden all their games started being nationally televised.
Right.
I must live under a rock because I don't know who any of these people are.
You do.
I don't. I don't know any of the women's basketball players. The last one I knew was that girl that looked like a
rock. That's what I was saying.
Must live under you must live under a rock. My wife doesn't follow sports at all, and she knows who Caitlin Clark is.
The last girls basketball player I knew was the girl that looked like a dude.
Brittany Griner?
Yeah.
That is a dude. That is a fucking dude. I don't give a shit. That's a guy.
That was the last. That was the last technically women's basketball player I knew that went to the NBA.
But
Well, yeah,
anyway,
because she got caught in Russia. That's why.
did you hear about
Yeah.
the new deal the WNBA got for the first time in their history? They got a multi-billion contract with ESPN with the new deal coming up starting next season. They literally, for the last 4 seasons, they paid a total of $2.2 billion for all 4 years combined. They just got a $2.2 billion per year deal for the next 4 years with ESPN. So that being said, this is where you're going to see the level of pay start to come up and look like it did in the NBA early for these women, because now they finally will have the money available to these teams to be able to afford to pay them. It has to do with the revenue, TV money, sponsorship. The difference is, you know, when you watch that, you see a bunch of little sponsors and a couple big sponsors. When you were watching WNBA last year, if you're watching it this year, you're seeing Liberty Mutual, you're seeing Esurance, you're seeing Progressive, you're seeing all of them.
Well, because all them guys are going to spend money where money's to be made.
Right.
You know, it's no different, you know, than NFL or MLB or, you know, things like that. I really think that women's athletics is going to start, you know, being on the rise. There's going to be more interest in it, and it is because of them 2 ladies. And kudos to them. Pay them ladies. You know, let them make the money. Have fun.
There's a reason why Nike gave Caitlin Clark $12 million a year for her shoe deal, and I don't hear about an Angel Reese deal.
She got Adidas.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, but it's not $12 million a year, you know. But it was a lucrative deal, though.
Right. Important question: when the Lions beat the Ravens in the 25 Super Bowl, what will be your post-game celebratory drink be?
I mean,
coffee.
are we in mythical times, or are we actually being serious?
That's a mythical time question, so I'm going to give a mythical answer, and you're going to love this, Mike. I'm going to
It
have
must be.
full of coffee, creamed with the tears of Vikings, Bears, and Packers fans.
I say it must be mythical because Super Bowl 25 happened like 30 years ago.
2025.
By the way, Angel Reese is with Reebok.
Oh, it's Reebok. Okay, I'm sorry.
She also does Airbnb commercials for Airbnb and Beats by Dre. She's also on PlayStation and Amazon. So she's got a bunch.
Let me commend my
deals.
brother from another mother here. Eric Dalton says, James, Diet Pepsi. I don't drink anymore. August 1st will be 1 year. Congratulations, Eric.
Congratulations.
I remember on the show. And you were putting them down.
And Eric, you shouldn't. You picked the worst damn pop ever. Who the hell drinks Diet Pepsi?
What the
I
fuck?
wouldn't drink it no more.
Who drinks Pepsi, period?
Pepsi's good. Diet Pepsi sucks.
I don't like. Not a Pepsi person.
If
I'm drinking Pepsi right now.
There you go.
The only diet I'm going to eat is I'm going to keep eating my vegetarian that poops on the vegan food. That's cow.
Absolutely. Hey, I got a buddy of mine that fucked with a guy who was a vegan. He told him that a burger was vegan, and he ate it. He said, "Man, this is the best burger I've ever ate in my life." He said, "Man, you sure this thing is vegan?" He's like, "Yeah, it's cow." He said, "What do you mean it's cow?" He's like, "Yeah, the cow eats the grass is vegan, so therefore your burger's vegan."
I'm trying to figure out why people don't understand that.
Right.
I'm telling you. You can't.
Eat grass.
You know what the ancient Native American translation to vegetarian is?
Dumbass.
Bad hunter.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
I like my answer a little better.
Speaking of most of our warrior type people, and Mike, you'll appreciate this. Vikings weren't no damn vegetarians. That's for damn sure.
Absolutely not. If it wasn't on a bone, we weren't touching it.
See, the only vegetarians we have in our division are fucking Green Bay fans. Well, that's not technically veggie either, but still.
No, I seen this lady say, "I'm a vegan."
Not meat.
I watched a lady at a bar coming in. I don't eat anything that came from anything with a face. You got some wine and cheese. She starts eating the cheese. I said, "You realize the cheese is made from cow's milk? Cows make that." In other words, it came from beef. I said, "You're eating frozen cow cum."
People get ridiculous with that vegan stuff, though. It's like, oh, you're gonna kill a cow, and you're gonna. I said they eat. Pigs are the only thing that I can't say is really good for you, but you eat beef. Cows eat grass. They're vegan.
That's
It
eating.
translates to what you eat. So what?
Absolutely.
Stupid.
Real, I concur with your thinking 100%. You know, I have backed out on eating a lot of pork because it has become unregulated by the FDA, and that's the only meat. And if you actually looked at pork under a microscope, it would disgust you. But I do live in Texas. I do smoke a lot of food, and ribs are one of my favorite. But I'm telling you right now, if I cook anything at 250 degrees, it's killing whatever's inside of it for 6 hours. So we're absolutely good to go.
There
Right.
you go. You know how to make a good brisket there, Mike?
I just made one last weekend. You know, if we were friends on Facebook, I'll send you pictures. I've got about a half-inch smoke ring on it, 250 degrees for 14 hours, and it comes out and melts in your mouth.
And you live in Houston?
I live just outside of Houston. I live north of Houston in a city called Magnolia.
Okay. I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take a road trip down there.
I'm joining you.
Whenever
I
you're
need some.
ready,
I need some good Texas barbecue. I need some good Texas barbecue.
I have an outside fridge that is fully stocked with beer, and I've got a freezer full of beef. So,
Oh shit,
you know,
dude!
just,
I live
just
outside.
let me know.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's a trap.
Give me our house and you know it's a porta potty or whatever, and I can just live outside.
No, you can't. Hey man, I live in southeast, Texas. You cannot be outside. It is too fucking hot for you guys up north. I'm telling you, when it's 116
Probably
degrees
true.
outside and 85% humidity, you won't even be able to get out of your car. You won't even make it to my steps, bro. You'll be like,
melt.
fuck this shit. I'm getting back in my car.
I probably have to admit to that one.
Yeah. But hey,
Rodgers.
anytime you want to come down and hang out with some Southern hospitality, we'll make some banana pudding, we'll make some peach cobbler, we'll smoke a brisket, we'll have all the sides and the fixing, some baked beans and some queso, and we'll have a good time.
So
Now let me ask you something though. If you're cooking this stuff out in this heat, man, you're not only getting the heat from the outside, but you're getting the heat from the grill. How the fuck do you deal with that shit?
With a big shop fan that sits in my garage, when I smoke this food. So the nice thing about it is when I put the wood in the smoker, it lasts about 4 hours. I don't have to mess with it. I ain't got to fuck with it. I go check on it in about 4 hours. I spritz the meat. I make sure it's nice and moist, and we go back and forth, with it. And here in Texas, how we time how food gets done is by how many beers you drink. So
oh my God.
ribs are about a 12-pack, chicken's about an 8-pack, and brisket is we wake up and start drinking again.
Greg Dalton says, "I won't take dietary advice from someone that takes 5 minutes to decide which room to take a piss in." Ever read the label on vegan stuff? My steak says beef. Theirs says monosodium glutamine and about 1,000 more cancer-causing ingredients.
Only Prop 65 when it's in California.
Right. But
Bacon is awesome, though. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I saw this. Bacon is awesome, and I will not argue this, my friends. You're 100%.
I hear you.
Bacon is the accessory of the gods to food.
So you guys, I do make my own bacon. I buy pork belly, and I brine it and I smoke it, and I have about
18 pounds of homemade thick cut bacon in my freezers right now.
Well, fuck you, Mike.
You're not even right. Why you?
Right?
Hey,
You're
I'm
talking all
not
that
wrong
shit,
though
man.
either. I'm not
not
wrong,
seeing-
guys. I'm just
This is
saying.
no, you're not wrong. But do you not see? This is two guys, and we are not afraid of food. Look at our chins.
That's not where you got to look,
Let me
really.
pan out a
More
little
the
bit.
stomach.
I mean,
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You're in shape, man, compared to us. Well, compared to me. Feel like I'm like 2 weeks
Compared to us.
pregnant.
so
was
my
going
friends
for
asked me
second
how I
trimester
identify,
here.
and I identify as a meatitarian. You know, so
Yes.
I'm sorry.
So I had one of those when I was managing last summer. I had one of those appearances. My
Vegan
pronouns are they and them, and I said, "Well, my pronouns is I'm a blood-eating, meat-eating dragon." They said, "Huh?" I said, "Well, that's what I want to be referred to." It makes about
You know we're
because you're one
you know
person.
we're still alive, right?
My pronouns are brisket and T-bone.
James says on that
Those are
label,
good
and
pronouns, man.
Eric Dalton says, "James, in the fine print, it says throw this out and buy a burger."
There you go.
Everybody's probably thinking, "What the hell are we talking about right now?"
Anything
The
we've done,
commercials,
you know
the
what?
best steak commercials with Sam Elliott. Beef. It's what's for dinner.
What's for dinner?
Yes.
That's right.
Hey,
I
Sam
like-
Elliott has that voice to where he could say, you know, drink beet juice. It's good for you. And we're all gonna go buy beet juice because we're gonna listen to this man.
Here's the crazy thing: Sam Elliott was on Robot Chicken, his voice, anyways, and they did all these little commercials, and it had to do with wine. And he goes, "Your best friend got married to your ex-girlfriend. What do? Bring white wine. Fuck yeah."
He did chorus commercials too.
Yes.
The mountain.
Yep. Head for the mountains.
Those are two of the most famous voices that I like is him and
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman.
Freeman,
Fucking
yes.
God.
Morgan
And he
Freeman.
got Mark
If Jesus had a voice, it's Morgan Freeman.
Then Morgan Freeman. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm gonna head out.
Yep. Good talking with you.
All right, Jordan.
2.5 hours, and it don't
Yep.
seem like because we did just bullshit. We got done with football
See you guys.
an hour and a half ago.
Make sure you guys stay new to your pets.
Yeah, go ahead, Jordan. Yeah, gotcha. All right, that's Jordan
Yes.
Element, illegitimate love child of Julian Element.
And now there was 3.
And now there's
Yeah.
3, and we're about to be none because it's getting to be about that time. I just realized I haven't had a nicotine stick in quite a long minute. So I want to say thank you to everybody who stuck around, mostly James Burgess and Eric Dalton, but everybody was here earlier. The chat has been lit. We were having fun here, and we got to do this, even though there's just the 2 of them here. It's our favorite sponsor. Even Mike loves the sponsor. It's FTP. What's it stand for, boys? Fuck the Packers.
Yeah, fuck the Packers.
Fuck them Packers.
Amen.
Guys,
And
it's always a pleasure. You know, we definitely have fun.
Yes, we do.
Brandon's Tire, right at the corners of South Grand Traverse and West Atherton Road in Flint, Michigan, where the water's shit, but the tires are good. Used tires start at $40. Give us a call to get your quote for new tires. 810-233-8230. Check us out.
Hey Jeremy, I did try to donate, you know, to your Cash App, but it would not. Something happened to where it said unknown domain something the other day. I was gonna send you $100, but it did not go
I
through
was
for
tapped
whatever
out.
reason.
I got money on there now, so. But I appreciate that 100%. Because what
That's
I do
good,
with
you
that
might.
money is I apply that to the cost of running the show. That's what I use that money for. Anything that gets donated. Ricky Sakat has been a benefactor lately. Still waiting for Orlando to pay because Von Doom said he's not wearing the tank top till you do again.
Hey guys, if you ever decide that you want to take a trip to the South and come have some Southern hospitality, please look me up. I have
Fuck
open
yeah.
doors, And I've got a lot of friends that will come in. I got a really good friend of mine that lives in Goshen, Indiana, who's a big Lions fan, and he actually came down last year for the Lions and Vikings game, and I had to eat crow because we got our asses handed to us, and that was a
Was that
hard
the
day for
second
me.
game or the first game?
Second game.
Oh yeah, you did.
And
Yeah,
just
you
remember,
made us look like a bunch of fools, but we evened out the series, so I mean it was all good,
since
But
we last
if you guys are ever in the Houston metro area, please look me up. Come on by, have a good meal, have some drinks, and enjoy some Southern hospitality.
And just a reminder, because the last time I talked about this, it was Sunday with you guys, with you on here, Mike. It has now been 570 days since the last time Aaron Rodgers completed a pass to anyone not named Kirby Joseph.
This is true, and counting.
You too, James. Thank you,
It's
sir.
always great to see
You're
everybody.
hilarious.
Thank you. Try every day to be a better person. You were the day before. It's the only way to make the world a better place. But I am very proud of you, Eric Dalton, at staying sober for nigh on a year. Don't blow it up now. You got 15 days to go. Let's get it. You've had an OPS of 1,000 on those comedy lines you were dropping. That was great. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Trilla. Thank you, Will Boggs, Raph Williams, Jordan Edelman, and Detroit Don.